Ma'am.
I got you said that. We would have done a whole show without the
No,
live,
we wouldn't
right?
have,
Hey,
because I was
guys.
like, it don't say live.
I know. Can y'all hear me okay? Because my mic is broken.
I hear you just fine.
Okay. What
How does
about,
she sound to everybody else?
hey, guys, can you hear me okay? I'm sorry about that. Done now. Oh, so trash can waves you complain about because we have a serious topic today that doesn't impress you today. How y'all doing today? Hey, Vega. Thank you for always coming. Thank you, Trash Can Wave. This title don't do the content justice. I suck at titles. I need to get Kay because Kay is well versed in the English language much more than I am. I mean, I suck. I would use this title if I was saving an essay on a computer disk. What? Trash Can Waves, we were talking about you the other night. We was talking about how you just, when you come in strong, you be strong. You be just having us cracking up. Okay, so Trash Can Waves will refer a title of could oral sex save a marriage, be talking about that and more on this upcoming video. Okay, that sounds fun. Can oral
We
sex
can
save a
definitely use
marriage?
that one.
Oh, you rather do that tonight?
No, we're going to stick to the topic at hand. We're going to stick to the topic at
Okay,
hand.
okay, let's do this. Let's do some of this topic and then let's go back to oral sex. No?
Ma'am,
Okay, I'm sorry.
stay on task.
Okay, all right. But that
We
is
got plenty
awesome.
of time to talk about oral sex.
Okay, are you
It's not going
sure?
anywhere. It's not going anywhere.
Because I really feel like it. What titles do you have in mind, Trash Your Ways? So Trash Your Ways. What's his problem?
Mm-hmm.
He don't like the title. It's too
I'm fresh
serious.
out of wine. I tell you, that's my problem.
Trash Can Ways must be a Pookie and a Ray Ray since he don't want to talk about it. So what is a Pookie and a Ray Ray? Kay, what do you think a Pookie and a Ray Ray is? Hey, Patrice, what's up? Hey, Miss Gail Lockett.
Hey,
Yeah, I don't know how
Patrice.
to. Hello, Gail. I don't know how to make you a moderator. I am so dumb. I do not know how to do stuff like that. I looked at it and I don't know how to do.
Inexperienced. We won't say dumb.
Okay. Well,
What
okay.
exactly does a moderator do?
They, the things I'm not doing right, like keep up with the chat and stuff of that nature. But she just came off of TLA live, so I know she exhausted because TLA be going hard, honey. I'm not done. Thank you, Vega. I just, when you're not getting laid, you just feel a lot of emotions. And hey, Friendsgiving, you just feel a lot of things. You just really down on yourself when you have no one to open you up and make you think better. Oh,
When you say
topic.
open you up,
Yeah, this, like crack it open,
crack them legs open.
Yeah, crack
Okay,
them
we
legs
back on
open.
that.
I'm
Gotcha.
not a crab and I'm not getting my legs cracked open. So hold on for a minute. So while you do that, I'm gonna find the definition for Pookie and Ray Ray real quick, okay? So go ahead. What's a Pookie and a Ray
What
Ray?
you gonna do? You gonna pull it up on Urban Dictionary?
No, I already downloaded it, but I forgot to do whatever to bring it up. But yeah, basically Urban Dictionary. So what do you think it is?
And when I think of Pookies and Ray Rays,
Mm-hmm.
I think along the lines of men around the way that sit around and suck on a 40 all day, don't really have jobs.
That's a
I
old
mean, honestly,
school.
that's how I think of Pookie and Ray Rays and homosexuals and
Now, what's
just
a homosexual?
homosexuals. That man is always looking for his next crib to stay in by he go and lay some serious pipe and
Mm-hmm.
hope he get to spend the night and hope she leave him in her house the next day so
Uh-huh.
that he can start slowly moving his stuff in because he done laid that pipe right.
Right.
And
Why?
now
Why
he's your
do?
new roommate, but he don't pay no bills. He don't pay no bills.
Not a nan bill. What's your
No.
Hey, Miss BC, what's going on? Thank y'all for coming. Wow, that's scary. So you make a Pookie and Ray Ray sound very unsexy because Pookies and Ray Rays are
Pookies
very
and Ray
sexy.
Rays are unsexy unless you're thirsty,
Mm-hmm. Let me
which
see.
is
What?
how they get over.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. So this woman today this young lady, she was 31, and we're gonna talk about her in a moment. Well, let me get this video file up. Let me see. We open it up. Crack that open. Okay. Oh my God. Can you read that? I can't read that. I'm old.
Good
What the hell
God,
that
girl,
say?
you.
How can I make this
Let me
bigger?
zoom. Hold on, I can zoom in. Let me
Yeah.
see.
Zoom in and read
Okay,
it
a
for me.
generalized broad term that describes societal nonconformists, usually ex-convicts, jobless, unfaithful, ghetto dregs, incapable of social graces, commitment, or gainful employment. The absentee father, baby daddy, or unwed mothers, the inmate population, the drug dealers and hustlers on the streets are examples of Pookies and Ray Rays.
All right. So what are the problems? I mean, but y'all, ladies, Gail, BC, Vega, Vega, I believe you're a woman, right? Your name is kind of in between. Patrice,
Androgynous.
Friendsgiving, Friendsgiving. Can y'all admit, Pookies? Have you ever had loving from a Pookie and a Ray Ray? They give the best loving. Why do they give? Why they loving is so good? Oh my gosh, they give like that. They know how to put it down. I mean,
Because
they
they
ain't
don't
got
have nothing else to do.
golly. Well, some of these other men need to figure out something else to do. All right, Gail, YouTube is acting up and won't let me comment. I know I hate it when it does that to me too, Gail. I hate that. But okay, you're first of all, do they still have 40s? Is that something that's a thing?
In the hoods, gas stations, they still have 40s.
40. I haven't seen a 40 in a minute. I remember when I used to work at Eckerd Drug like many moons ago.
Like
And you
30
know
years
the
ago. Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry. Did I tell on you? My
yeah.
bad. I'm sorry.
Anyway, and so they would wear these big baggy pants, right? Remember the big baggy jeans? Remember where
Hmm.
like crisscross colors were in style, cross
Oh yeah.
colors were in style. So and they would load it up and they wagging like waddling out of like Eckerd Drugs and daring the managers to say something. They would have like three or
Oh, they
four
just walked
40s.
out with it. They didn't pay for them.
I mean, they would, yeah, yes, they didn't pay for it. No, they would stuff it in these big pants and they drawers. Like, who wants it after that point? And they would waddle out, and you know what they had, but you know, the managers did not dare say anything about it. Yeah, so but I haven't seen a 40 in a
Okay.
while. I mean, but Pookies, but so can high value men be Pookies and Ray Rays?
No, absolutely not. I mean, this is the thing. In my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
a high value male, which I hate that phrase, but a high value male is based on the person looking for him.
Okay. I'm
You
sorry.
know, it's what's the word I'm looking for? Is relative to the person that's looking for a high value man. So
Okay,
everybody
gotcha,
has their
gotcha.
list of what works for them.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was telling you about the story before, where I was trying to hook a girlfriend up with a guy. He was a nice, really nice looking guy,
Mm,
educated, good job, blah, blah, blah. But to her, he was unappealing because he had no thug in him. So
right,
he didn't have a grill. He didn't, he wasn't slinging on the corner. He wasn't living that thug life, so he had zero appeal to her. He was too
right.
straight laced.
So he was still, I guess, a high value male, but she just didn't want one. She
She
was honest. She wanted a Pookie and a Ray Ray.
she wanted she wanted someone slinging, making good money, but slinging.
Oh,
So high value just based on what your values are.
right. Let me see if I can share this article right here. And I like what Gail Lockett said. I heard the best cat comes from crazy women too. Why do crazy women have the best coochie though? We do. I mean, they do though. They really do. That's why I don't mind telling a man
I
I'm
get that with
crazy.
you.
I don't mind telling a man I'm crazy because they know what that comes with it. But then when you done piss me off, then you know what comes with it. So everyone should know. Okay, you're not crazy.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
I'm gonna ask my husband. Hold on.
Uh-huh. That's your husband, girl.
I'm gonna ask my husband.
So while Kay is asking her husband to lie for her, hey, my Vivid Life, how are you? My Vivid Life, I meant to ask you, did you do a live stream on Saturday? And if you do, please send it to me because you know I'm back at work. Hold on, is Kay talking? Kay,
I
you
was
talking?
talking to him. I was talking to him.
Oh, okay, well, let
He
me
said
know.
I'm not crazy, and that phrase is not true.
Oh, well, I know you, and you're pretty darn crazy.
I'm
And
not crazy.
okay, you're right.
I
Okay,
said what I said.
I said all right.
Girl. Carry on. But
Trash can
there
waste
was shade in that though. There was shade in
from
that
him.
from you.
Oh, I was trying to get him on board. Trash can waste say without a job, they have full time to be professional lovers. Woo, don't
Yes, I
they,
can get
honey?
crazy.
They do. They are professional lovers, honey. I don't want a Pookie. Well, Vega, that's not the question. We know you don't want Pookies, but have you ever had a Pookie though? And if you did, how was
So
the
Pookie
loving?
slinging that crazy dick. Is that what we saying?
Honey. CJOJ say it's subjective. So a Pookie and Ray Ray is subjective. How so, CJOJ? Trash can ways. What you know about some crazy cat? Oh, I can't see you being with a normal woman, trash can waste, especially with all that craziness you have in your head. All the, you got movie titles.
I'm a hybrid.
You said what now?
I'm hybrid. He
Oh,
said I'm
like,
a hybrid.
okay, as long as you
Like
know.
I'm part crazy, part not.
And so he's trying to be nice. He's trying to be political with you tonight. That's nice. That's
I can get
nice.
with the hybrid though. I mean,
I'm a
everybody
hybrid
has a
too.
crazy moment.
Well, I'm a functional nut. I have a job.
Yeah, 'cause I'm about to say you more like 75% crazy.
Yeah.
I'm more like 25% crazy.
I would
I'm
say a little
crazy
bit.
when I need to be crazy.
I think you're 45% crazy. You used to be 100% crazy, but as you got older, you had a good 45%.
I'll give you that one.
Right. Yeah, you was 100% nuts when you were young. I mean,
I mean,
crazy.
you said that with so much
I
so
mean,
much
because
in your chest. Why are you saying it with
I
your
was like,
chest like that?
nuts. Nuts. Because
Hey,
it's
my
the
vivid
truth.
life.
I know. My Vivid Life, we need to do another collab together so I can act right and have some good content that will be respectable. Right, Kay? Because Kay don't know how to keep me in line. She be trying to
I'm
though.
sorry. I'm not this your show. How I'm gonna keep you in line on your show?
I thought it was our show. We need to talk about
Oh,
this
I'm
later.
sorry. I'm not a pharmacist. That thing say your
Yeah,
favorite
I mean,
pharmacist.
well, we started off.
I'm messing with you.
Are
I'm
you not
messing
on
with
Are
you.
you not on the banner? I mean,
I
with all
am
your
on the
titties out.
banner. I showed my mom the banner
Uh-huh.
today, and she was like, "Oh wow, okay."
Wow, looking like a sex
she was like,
kitten.
"Cause you got yeah." She was like, "Oh wow, that's a lot going on there."
Yeah.
I was like,
And y'all make sure like, share, and subscribe. We are at what 275 now, right, Kay?
"What I
We are
tell you."
270. I know you. Kay brought all of them to the yard, honey. Yeah, I had to put it on a banner first though. But
Yeah, we're gonna.
but you a businesswoman. I respect that. You was like, shit, I ain't messing with you. But yeah, I would love. I think we only need 20 more subscribers to reach 300. So could y'all please? Yeah, we at 280. So if y'all can find 20
Give me
more.
tomorrow. We get you. We get you to 300.
Oh, really? What you be doing?
Every time I give you a goal, don't I hit it?
You do. You do.
Uh,
I need to give you some gold money for me so I can make these gold. I kind of attracted to ghetto women with gold teeth. Huh. I ain't gonna lie.
not the gold teeth, really.
I wanted some Dracula fronts. For some reason, I just wanted to go to my job with my white coat on and have some Dracula
Okay, well,
fronts.
Halloween is this weekend, so knock it out.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I just wanted it
Are
for
you
every
off
day. I don't know. When is Halloween?
Sunday? I think.
This Sunday coming up? Oh, yeah, I'll be off then. Oh, yeah, I'll be off. So, what y'all gonna be
Oh,
for Halloween?
I'm gonna be on the road,
Where you going?
up in the mountains, probably.
Okay. I'm gonna spend Halloween alone. Who's gonna come spend Halloween with me? Who's gonna
Is
be my?
Halloween even a snuggle holiday?
It can be if you come as a vampire.
I think you just got one more. Did you just get another subscriber?
I don't know.
I just got a text. I think someone else just
Mhm.
subscribed.
Let me
We'll
see.
see.
Trash Can Ways. Why do you like Pookie and Ray Ray in a female form? Gail Lockett
What's with the
said Trash
gold
Can.
teeth? See, when I see people with gold teeth, I'm always thinking their breast things.
Yeah, but yeah, especially when we see like all those people like what's that guy named
Birdman.
Birdman and what's that guy who
Yeah, you
sang
got to
Bust
have
It
garbage breath.
Bust It Baby?
You know you asking the wrong one, right? You know I
Oh
cannot help you.
God. Oh, Gail Lockett, you what Trash Can Ways know about some chicks with some gold front? We say I dated a middle class Pookie. Oh, a middle class Pookie. He got caught up in the MJ trade in college His life went downhill from there. Said, yes, he was the best I ever had, honey. Besides from Pookies and Ray Ray's having the best loving, who else have good loving? Or from my small experience, I only have a small pool of men. I don't have I've been married 3 times, so I had 4 men in my whole. Yeah, 4, the magic number.
That's 4 is the magic number.
Magic number, because I had a couple.
Never say 5. I don't
Never
care if it was
say
50.
5. I almost tripped
Never
up, girl.
say
I
5.
almost tripped up and say 5. Oh, and thank you, Unique View, for being number 1 tonight. So thank you. Send me your Cash App, and I'm gonna send you $20 for being our first one tonight. So we gotta up it up, Kay. Shoot.
Wait, hold on. Wait, do I get 20 too?
You get these. You get to sit on spin.
I get this. That's all I get.
Yeah, you get to sit and spin. You get to do that. Yeah. So
see how I get treated.
Put me your Cash App, and Unique View in the comments, or private message me, and I'll go ahead and send you that for being the first one to wait. And he was waiting at 809, y'all. Wasn't that so sweet? And he's always so supportive.
809. Dang.
I know, and I can even. Yeah, my mic is really. I'm really eager rigging it right now. In that space, I spent so much money on this setup, but whatever. She's a hybrid. Kate can get crazy. How does he know? What is he talking about?
I don't know. Maybe it's something about my aura that's saying that I can get crazy. I don't know.
Right. A middle class
Pookie.
So are Pookie and Ray Rays, are they always in the hood? Okay, so
no.
Why not? Why
no, because the Pookie Ray Ray is a mentality. It could go anywhere.
True.
It's not stuck in the hood. It's not even necessarily born in the hood.
Right.
This is like ghetto-ness. That ghetto mentality, it's a mentality. Because you can take the person out of the ghetto, but if they got a ghetto mentality. Like my son made a joke about this girl that was bothering him in school one day, and he was telling me about her. And I was like, and so my other son was like, oh, she must know that I'm your brother because she's recently started messing with me too.
Okay.
And I was like, who is this chick? I said, where does she live? And Tyler says, oh, she lives in a nice neighborhood. But as soon as she get home, it's ghetto.
Wow.
So, it's all in the mentality. What? You didn't like the joke?
I didn't get it.
Joke?
I thought
that wherever because she's ghetto, even if she lives in a nice neighborhood, once she gets home, it's now ghetto.
Okay, gotcha.
It's not funny when I have to explain it.
All right. So, like Trash Can Waves, when he told that whack period joke, I just know.
Really? I didn't think my joke was whack.
No, that joke was whack because it was
a 12-year-old's joke.
You saying that about your man, your boo?
My child told the joke.
Oh, okay. Are we still talking about that? Let me see. I have not.
Family Feud.
Vega haven't had one. Girl, you ain't had not one Pookie and Ray Ray. Girl, you better get you one. Oh, but make sure that condom on and have 12 birth controls because their sperm is ridiculously potent. But girl, that loving be on point. Girl, they like, oh my gosh, I can think about it right now. And
Patrice asks a good question. Would you remarry any of your ex-husbands?
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
No, not one.
I knew the answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, my real life. I just want to make sure I didn't miss your live. No, a high value man is subjective, like Kay said. Oh, gotcha. Hold on, let me catch it. See, that's why I need a moderator because I suck at this. Trash Can Ways, can I have a mild mannered woman? She cannot. He cannot have a mild mannered woman.
No, he'd run ship all over her.
Yes, he would. CJOJ asks, how long have we known each other?
How long have the two of us known each other?
Well, I'll let you tell it because you like to play me.
We've known each other since 8th grade. We've been best friends since 9th grade because I didn't like her ass in 8th grade.
Okay. I thought we were friends personally, but
You could not have thought we were friends. I
we
barely
used to
spoke to
hang
you.
out. We hang out a little bit in
How did we
band.
hang out? We were at two different schools.
But well, how do we know each other in eighth grade then?
We met all county band.
Yeah, but we were hanging out in eighth grade. We were kind of doing something in
How
eighth
could we
grade.
hang out?
I don't know. We were though, damn it. Um, we were okay. I'm looking for
Okay,
a
but
middle ground woman, but obviously they all taken. Trash can waves. I am so single. Are you kidding me? You're such a
he said you're not
ass.
middle ground. You 75% crazy. He looking for the 45-55% range.
No, he's not. I'm so tired of him dissing me. I want to block him. He make me sick. Every time I zone out and put you in all the way, then he has heart eyes and stuff like I'm just like blown up. This man, he make me sick. All right, Gail Lockett, I'm gonna try to do it again because I didn't know. I tried to do it on YouTube, but maybe it was something I wasn't doing right with the moderation. If you don't mind, I would love for you to moderate. I didn't want to ask you before because and plus I only have a few followers, subscribers rather. But you do so much for everybody, so that's and I hate asking people for stuff. I'm one of those type people. Let me see that banner. What banner? Let me see. Oh yeah, I went from TLA to kosher clinician, and now I'm here. I know, right? How did you have time to do that? Because TLA was on like up until a second ago. Thank you, my vivid life. I will be alone too, girl. You need to get you some. My vivid life. Back to you. You ever
Hmm.
had you some thug loving, girl? That's a bad question, isn't it? But you have some thug loving or not, girl? You put us some Dracula fronts on for that next YouTube vid entitled and thumbnail. Okay, I'm gonna give you some Dracula fronts and I'm gonna take a picture and make it a thumbnail. And this is case gonna be busy, so I guess I'll just
What?
be.
I didn't say I was gonna be busy.
Oh, okay.
What day are we talking? Are we talking about on Halloween? Didn't you ask me about Friday? Are we
Oh
doing a
yeah, I
show
forgot. Oh
Friday?
yeah. So I gotta get some gold fronts, some Dracula fronts by Friday. Okay. I guess Amazon would have some.
Good luck.
I just need to hurry up. Oh, Walmart may have some. I work there, so and
I'm
y'all,
sorry. Do we need to wear a Halloween? Do I need a Halloween costume for this
no, I
weekend?
just want to put on some Dracula fronts and I'm gonna wear it to work every time. I want some good ones. I want like those Kim Kardashian Dracula fronts. Pretty women usually have stinky breath though, like a bad tooth. Really?
No,
Really? Why do you
no.
say that? Plies, yes. Thank you, CJOJ. Plies. That's all. Yeah.
What were you saying about Plies?
He's the busted baby, and he was the one with the fronts.
Oh, okay.
I'm way behind. Let me catch up. I want to. What does he say? I want money too. Yeah, but the loving is so good. You ain't gonna care. Trust me.
What about
Poppy
the Pookie
Blanco.
Puff?
Yeah, the love is so good though. I mean, because you know what it is. Poppy Blanco TV. Are you a Pookie and Ray Ray? Are you give a good loving like a Pookie and Ray Ray? We
Pookie and Ray
say,
Ray.
we say, Tish, would you remarry any of your husbands again, like Elizabeth Taylor did? No, we already talked about it. No, I'm a Leo, and when we're into it, we're into it. We're passionate. We'll cry. We'll just, and it's really almost all an act because as soon as it's over, we like, okay, we forgot. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I mean, would I still screw them? Yes. So that's a different question. Would I still screw my ex-husbands? Yes, I have done that. Yes. Actually, husband number two, he trying to offer that good love, and that dude has some. Whew,
I felt the flashback. Just
girl,
I
husband
caught a
number
little bit of that
two,
heat, girl. I caught a little bit of that
girl,
heat.
husband number two, man. Woo wee. Oh, another group of men who have really, really good loving are technical type men. Men like in the medicine field because they know
What about
anatomy.
IT?
Yeah, I was gonna get to it. I never had you're nasty. You
I
just like
just
lick your
asked
whole
you.
mouth. But medical men because they understand anatomy. Like the first time I ever had a big O was with Phil. I love him. I still love him. He
I'm
gave me
so
my.
mad you keep calling out people's names online. Amazon got some gold teeth.
Oh, they do. Okay, how much
They
are
do.
they? $99, I
Um,
think.
$10,
Oh God,
$15.
I make my teeth rot out.
I mean, how long you plan on wearing them? Because they're
I
not
mean,
fitted for you.
I mean, yeah, true. I need
You can go get some fitted if you just like want some fangs. Might cost you
how
$500. Get
like
some
find me a
fangs
fang.
done.
How much of fangs? You see any fangs?
Let me look for some fangs for you. Continue on. You were saying.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Medical men have the best love and like the first time. Like I dated this one guy, Jimmy, and he could not make me come. Like he would not, and he tried to say it was my fault.
You
And then,
know what? Go
what?
ahead. I'm sorry, but you are not going to get off of this topic. We are supposed to be talking about Pookies and Ray Rays,
Well, we
and that has nothing to do.
are. We are. Well, I'm just giving a.
Nooks are not Pookies and Ray Rays. Okay,
I'm
Nooks
just
are
giving
not
a
Pookies and Ray Rays.
contrast. I'm giving a contrast. IT. I never had I never screwed an IT guy, so I'm not sure. But from what you're saying, Kay, IT guys are really, really good. Technical,
I
like
can't speak for all of them. I just say I can't speak for all of them. I can only
well,
speak
I guess a
for
hit dog
one.
or a hit. I mean, okay. I just thought you would know because you
I'll
have an
say
IT.
right, but I'm just saying in general, I cannot speak for
Oh
all of
well,
the IT guys. I can only speak for the one.
okay. Well, why
And
you
so
getting so
yes,
okay?
absolutely
Calm
amazing.
down. Calm
I'm not
down.
I'm
Calm
not I'm
down.
not
I
I'm
know. I
good.
know. I know your husband's right there. I know he's right there listening.
You need to get your life.
I'm just joking around.
Uh,
Let me see. I
I
said,
found some for you. They're still in the $10 to $20 range.
okay, cool. As long as it's white, I don't want gold and it'll mess up my teeth. I said in my early comment that he can earn a lot of money but be ghetto AF. Can you? I mean, okay. So what about like a high end dope boy? I mean, they earn a lot of money and they ghetto AF. Making sit live. What's good? Hey, Poppy Blanco. Vega, okay, I'm almost ready. If 2K, if I'm the blunt, you could be the lighter baby. Fire it up, writer baby. You could be a quote. If I'm a lyric baby, you can be the note. Record that saint. I'm a sin. The prize. I'm a winner. Oh, I was doing good. Then I got off track. I got off beat big time.
Okay. Okay, so help me out with that. I was trying to figure out where the lyrics came from.
Yeah. Oh, he wants to. Let's see. 2K. If I'm the blunt, you could be the lighter babe. Fire it up, writer baby. You can be the quote. If I'm the lyric baby, you could be the note. Record that saint. I'm a sinner. Prize. I'm a winner. I don't know where that came from. Where it came from, Trash Can Waves. That is, rapping is not my forte. And if it's what you, and if you, what did I do deserve that paper, baby? I'll be the pen say that I'm the one because you are a 10. Okay. Ooh, that was long. Maybe I would have enjoyed it more if it was for me. Anyway,
Such a hater. You're such a
you got your
hater.
Bluetooth in, right?
I got my Bluetooth in,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. And so
I made
let's
sure my head. I didn't want no static. I didn't want no smoke from you today. I'm not choosing violence, so I made sure that my earpiece was on point today.
I'm not
Okay,
falling
and
for
my
this.
backup is standing right next to me. So
I'm not falling for this. You trying to draw
right.
me into some foolishness, and I'm not doing
No,
this
but
with
we
you.
were supposed to be talking about something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can.
Pookies and Ray Rays, man. Focus. Pookies and Ray
Okay, yeah.
Rays.
I was just reading through the
Domestic
comments.
violence, murdering folks.
Okay.
Let's
Okay, go
stay
ahead.
on
Okay.
task.
All right. So we have this young lady here, 31 years old, a attorney. This is like the lead attorney, a young attorney, 31, living downtown the Peachtree area in downtown Atlanta, which is, I would imagine, very, very, very expensive. And she got with this Pookie and a Ray Ray at the same time, but one guy, of course, who was in her home 3 o'clock in the morning. So it was no forced entry or anything. And he killed her. And not only did he kill her, after she was gone, he decided to do a shootout with the cops. So, what makes women who are like us, professional women, women who have our own thing going, who knows how to take care of ourselves, who's supposed to be on a higher collegiate level of thinking, what would make us want to go back down to, I mean, I don't think I'm better than anybody, but people's scenarios are different and not conducive for my lifestyle. What would make a woman look at her? She's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful young girl, 31 years old. And I'm sure for her to be a partner in a law firm, I'm not a lawyer, of course, but I've heard that's very, very difficult, especially if you're a black woman, a black person, period, rather, to become a partner in a law firm, especially at such a young age. So obviously, she has an amazing skill set at such a young age to become a partner already at the age of 31. So what, and the guy, I wish I had a picture of the guy. I can probably pull him up. But he, he had a nice, hey Patrice, how you doing, sweetheart?
Hello, ladies. How y'all doing?
Hey,
All right.
Patrice.
You know,
Hey.
he looks great. He was a good looking guy, one of those light, bright, light eyes, like K Michelle said, light of the eyes, big of the lies. But what make women like us revert back to those type of men? Because she was working with a lot of different lawyers. She was downtown Atlanta. So if she didn't want to, because like with me, I don't like dating other pharmacists because we think alike, and most pharmacists, that's why I like to call myself your favorite pharmacist, because you're not gonna find too many pharmacists that are really laid back and cool and just know how to interact with people. Most pharmacists are um, work with the public, but they aren't people persons. So my point is, she probably didn't want to date an attorney. Okay, so there were plenty of options for her downtown Peachtree, Atlanta. So why did she wanted a Pookie? What do y'all think? What you think, Patrice?
That's a good question. I think sometimes it goes back to uh, a mentality of a type of attraction that a woman would have for a man. Some women that even though they successful like she was and had a high profile job, sometimes they still has that mentality of they want that guy that's a little rough around the edges. And she's very young, so I think that mentality for her possibly did not, she didn't grow out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate, very unfortunate that this happened to her, but it's not uncommon, unfortunately, to say. Um, you see more of it in the inner city with a lot of younger generation, 20s, 30s, where these boyfriends and these husbands are doing this too to their wives and girlfriends. They're committing these type of crimes, unfortunately, against not all, some. Let me say that because I got balled out for saying black men in general on another platform today.
Mm-hmm.
So let me make that clear.
Oh
You
Lord.
know,
Mm-hmm.
it's there is a channel on YouTube called Black Girls Unlost.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm.
it is just almost epidemic of these type of scenarios right here. And actually I saw hers on that channel last night. And then
Mm-hmm.
I she's on there now. She's added to the many, many black women that you see that were taken out by the exes, the boyfriends, the husbands, and it's so unfortunate. But when you said that, made that statement, uh, your favorite pharmacist, I told
Mm-hmm.
on another platform that happened to my girlfriend who was a
Oh really?
pharmacist.
Oh
Yeah,
really?
yeah, she dated my brother at one time and she quit my brother because my brother, was like cheating on her a lot. So she quit him. She marries this Pookie Ray Ray, and I say the name Junebug too, y'all. So don't leave Junebug out.
Ah,
It's me and
true,
nephew.
true, true.
So she married this guy, and everybody could see that this guy wasn't right, that he wasn't right. And and my brother even talked to her, was like, yeah, you left me because I was cheating, and now you got this dude, da da da. And yeah, she worked the night shift, he worked the day shift. She was a pharmacist. She came home from work. He
Mm-hmm.
come home from work. They got the fighting because she wrote a letter. Finally, she was going to leave him.
Okay.
He found the letter
Mm.
and came home, and he murdered her. He killed her.
And they
And
were married.
yeah, they were married. Yeah, he did his time, but he's out now. I'm sure got out because he didn't even get that much time. Girl, it was a mess. But
Oh God.
and listen, and Black women's murders like this go so unnoticed in our communities. They're not on
Yeah.
mainstream news as much as our white counterpart females are. So that's why it's
Absolutely.
important for us to talk
Shoot,
about
they've
these type
proven
of
that
things.
recently with all the
Yes, and
publicity for the girl that was camping with her boyfriend or on the road with her boyfriend and he killed her
Right.
and killed himself supposedly or got
ex-
ate by an
exactly.
alligator.
Yeah, so it's good I'm glad you're talking about this because it needs to be talked about more in our community, definitely. But I think that uh, younger women tend to not get out the mentality of wanting that little Pookie Ray Ray Junebug, rough around the edges type of guy. I think she tried to break up with him or had broke up with him, and normally they don't take breakups well. And
Right.
this is what they do. This is what they do.
Right.
Unfortunately.
That's can y'all see the picture I sharing now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's her right there. Beautiful young girl. Just 31 years old. Just 31. You know, still very young, but old enough. You know, like it depends on what's your background history. A lot of times, we can make it through the family history of the hood mentality or the poverty that comes, that can bring on certain mentalities. So I'm not sure what kind of even good families, sometimes you're just drawn to, what looks like you or drawn, look at him, this is we call it a mugshot, but if he wanted to, he probably cleaned up and looked very nice. He probably was bold. And that's one thing about Pookies and Ray Rays. They are very, very bold. A lot of
Yep.
times
No matter what they look like.
exactly, no matter, especially if they look somewhat decent like this guy right here. Like hey, I'm Black girls getting this shift together. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate y'all so much. Give you a shout out. Thank you so much. Thank y'all. They are very, very, they're new and they're awesome. Well, I think we're about the same baby age when it comes to YouTube, but y'all, they have some really good content. So make sure and check them out. And I appreciate y'all coming to our platform so much. But yeah, I just don't get it. And sometimes it's not even Pookie and Ray Ray's in the typical sense. There was another article, and Patrice, you probably can remember this. Kay, you probably can remember this, about this woman. She was like a big time finance person, executive.
Executive, yeah. And the
With
guy she
Bank of
dated, the branch
America.
manager, yeah, and he
What
murdered her.
happened?
Yep.
Both of y'all talking at the same time. What happened?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
I didn't.
Patrice.
I can hear it.
She wants to know what happened to what we were talking about. What was
I
that
didn't
person?
hear the details because y'all
I
were
know we
both
was trying to.
talking.
You shut up. Did
Shut the
I
fuck up.
say that out loud? I'm sorry. Oh God.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't mean to. Go ahead, Patrice. What were you saying? Just tell that story again.
No, I was muted, so I didn't know that you were talking. And then when I unmuted myself, I couldn't hear you. No, you talking about that bank executive that worked for
Mm-hmm.
Bank of America. She dated a Black guy that worked with her. He was a branch manager, and they dated for a while, and she broke up with him, and he broke into her home. And this was in California a few months ago. He
Mm-hmm.
No,
broke
I didn't hear
into her
about this at
home and
all.
murdered her.
Right, and
Yeah,
he
it
and
was
he
really
wasn't a
big.
and he wasn't a Pookie or Ray Ray. It wasn't she. He was like he was working with her at the bank, correct?
Yeah, he was a branch manager at the bank. I don't think he was her boss because I don't think that's allowed in that field. But he
Mm-hmm.
was a branch manager, and they were dating. And then she broke up with him. And I think that's the thing with the part when the men can't handle the breakup, they become violent. I don't know if there was some violence prior to with either one of these situations, but it comes in a factor when they can't handle the breakup,
Mm-hmm.
and then they get violent. And I don't know if it's a history of mental illness there or something of that nature, but the men for some reason can't handle the breakup from the girl, and
Right.
that's where the problem comes in, or the woman.
And that's what to be honest with you, that's what I've told I have a baby sister. She's like some years younger than me. And I always tell her, a lot of time as women, we really want to, when a man has, especially, so just to preface it, a Pookie and Ray Ray are someone that can bring harm to our lives. It doesn't necessarily have to be the typical, hood Pookie and Ray Ray. It can be a person a gentleman, or a woman with the mindset that is just not quite right. A lot of
Well, I was
times.
going to make that point because
Mhm,
I don't think, I think generalizing to saying Pookie and Ray Rays are the violent type or they're the ones that are going to kill us
right,
is really a gross misinterpretation of that,
right.
because it could be anybody. It could be the computer tech. It could be the police officer, boyfriend,
Hmm.
husband. It could be the doctor, whoever, whoever doesn't know how to deal with the stress in their lives and choose to take it out on their female counterpart. It
Right,
could be anybody. So I don't think we should focus on that part with the domestic violence per se, because it really could be anybody in any profession. But we definitely, are we, so I need to know, are we really focusing on Pookie and Ray Rays with professional women, or are we focusing on Pookie and Ray Rays possibly causing us harm?
right. So, but a lot of times we have to be careful. We just really do. I mean, because that guy at the Bank of America, he was a normal guy, working with her at the same. So what I was telling, what I was saying earlier, my sister, when you dealing with different type of men, it's like we have to be careful. And a lot of times we want to really give that man that, if they piss us off or whatever is going on, we really want to give it to them, or we want to break up with them. We really want to make it dramatic. And I always tell my sister, listen, it's not worth it. When I want to break up with someone, I like to make them think they want to break up with me because I understand human psychology. I know how I get down. So, but I have self control. A lot of people don't have self control. And, a lot of times men don't have, they ego are in play no matter what kind of man they are. You just don't know. So instead of us really wanting to let a man know that we're tired of them, or let a man know this or let a man know that. And if you're done, like I like to tell my sister and other women, if you're done, be done. Don't play no games about it. You don't know how that's gonna, turn around. Make it as amicable as possible. Have a game plan of flipping it around, because eventually these men, if you keep acting like, oh, I don't know, if you act like that, they gonna get tired if you want to leave. And who cares? A lot of women, we also have this ego of we don't want to seem like we were the one being broken up with. Who cares? As long as you can walk out with your life, as long, who cares, or without any drama. I mean, I had drama where men call my job and calling my bosses, and I don't like that kind of drama. So I've really hunkered down on, popping up, threatening. I don't like those kind of scenarios, because I don't get embarrassed, but I don't want my work. I don't want my customers thinking, like, what's her deal, and that takes away from my professionalism. So I like to, let this become very, moody and in a sappy, sad kind of way, and it will go away. Okay, so if y'all take any tidbit from your favorite pharmacist, okay, just let them have it, but be done. Don't play games with it, because we all heard too many times tires getting slashed, getting threatened, all that. This is not worth it. It's really not. Um, but yeah, you made a good point, Kay. I mean, we have to say DV too, because we can't, on YouTube we can't say
Okay.
the DV, that word.
Okay. I
Um,
want
Yeah,
that
I
comment
would
that you
I would agree
posted
with that
with,
too, Kay.
yeah, that comment that you had up from
oh yeah, 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 yeah. Poppy,
yeah,
you being
yeah,
fun. Oh yeah, thank
Poppy.
you, thank you. Because I
No,
almost forgot.
of course, no, I don't believe that men with dreads or men with dark skin or men with dreads and dark skin are more likely to be a Pookie or a Ray Ray. There's some high yellow Ray Rays out there for
Like this
doggone
dude
sure.
right here on the screen, okay?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean,
He light skinned it, and he's clearly a Pookie or a Ray Ray. So
I mean,
uh,
class. Johnny.
no, but you're right,
And
Kay.
she better not
I
talk
do
trash
agree
about
with that
nobody with
statement.
dreads. Which technically I don't have dreads, I have locks, but you know what I mean.
What were you saying, Patrice?
No, I was just saying I absolutely agree with Kay's statement because there are your regular everyday working men, blue collar and white collar that are killing their wives, their spouses. So you're
And they
absolutely right.
said like police officers are more
Mm-hmm.
likely to be guilty of domestic or DV than
That's true.
any other profession. Most
Very true.
women dealing with or married to or linked to a police officer suffer some form of DV.
Yep.
And I'm
That's
like,
very
wow.
true. Not too long ago, it was I believe it was in North Carolina, but this white cop went to the home of a black lady for domestic violence. She had got into it with an ex-boyfriend. And then he started seeing the black lady having an affair, but he was married and
Mm.
she got pregnant. And I guess she threatened to keep the baby or tell the wife or something. And he broke into her home in the middle of the night and shot her in the head and made it look like it was like a robbery gone bad or something. But they got him
Mm.
though. He went to jail.
Wow. And he was an officer, you saying?
He was a police officer. Yeah.
And those kind of women, they go through not just the physical part of it, they go through the emotional and the mental, because who are you going to call? You cannot call their colleagues, because a lot of times, unless they already want that person off the police force, you can't call because it's just a loop around. You really can't, when you go to the judge, how can you really defend yourself in front of that judge? You know? So it's horrible. Hey, Karen Jackson, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. We have a new person. Thank you, Karen. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
Karen.
That's your girl, Kay?
No, I don't know that.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, Karen, appreciate you so much.
Can I not say hey?
Oh no, I thought you was one of your friends, since you were bringing all everyone to the yard. So OG, so you ever had some thug loving and it went wrong, or what's your experience?
No, I have dated I have dated a couple of back in the day, a couple of those what how should I say it uh illegal pharmacist dealers. That
Illegal.
yeah,
Street
yeah.
pharmacist. Street
Yeah,
pharmacist.
street pharmacist.
Yeah, back in the day. So absolutely in my 20s. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, you say for
But
sure.
they were never violent to me though. I can say that.
Sometimes they're very protective. I mean, they can be very, very protective. I know the ones in Charleston, South Carolina, like you can't go, if you go around certain areas, you're gonna be protected, because they are not gonna let anything. They don't even let dudes look at you, and it's not like you're screwing them or anything. They just understand that you're not a part of that world, but you're somehow still hanging out with them. I guess I'm admitting to. So yeah, it's yeah. So let's see. And Poppy, well, I was just joking with you. Okay, so you my baby. You my baby. No, come on now. he a baby today. He must need some tea. Yes, he do. Yes, he do. So Trash Can Wayne wants to know. So you was a dope boy and getting pulled over. He got some pills and asked you to make them disappear. What you gonna do, pharmacist? Well, heck, you know what I'm saying?
It depends on how big is the bag.
I mean, and then if I'm in the car with you and I got to go to jail too, so I guess I'm gonna have to put him somewhere. What are you saying? I'm joking. I don't know.
Oh,
Shit.
look, how I need to know how detailed is the pat down because I can hide almost anything up here. So
Okay, you ain't never
I'm just
lied.
saying.
For real. What's up, Sincere? How are you? Thank you for coming back. Thank you so much. So okay, you never had any some Pookie Ray Ray experiences?
No,
Was this young lady right here though? I mean, I can actually see this guy getting cleaned up and looking really. I can see him playing the part. because this is a mug shot, and he looked like he's just sleepy. He doesn't look like one of those wild-eyed, thugs. You know what I'm saying? He probably can pull his dreads back and just look really decent looking. And a lot of times they talk game is phenomenal. These hood dudes, they talk game is phenomenal. I mean, they don't miss and get one who up with current events. Oh, the game is over. You know what I'm saying? So they give you some good love, and they talk about current events and stuff like that. And they always got the best food. They always know these hood spots for good food. So I mean,
Sis, you sound like you got a lot of experience with Pookies and Ray Rays. I'm just saying.
I lived in Charleston, South Carolina, and that's Pookie Ray Ray Central. Girl, yeah, I would. Yeah, that's Pookie Ray Ray Central. What makes a man, a black man, a Pookie or Ray Ray? We had talked about this earlier, but what was the definition, Kay, of the Pookie and Ray Ray?
It was basically around the way dude that has no ambition, pretty much jobless, sipping on 40s, possibly slinging, but definitely lack of ambition. And his goal in life is to lay up under some woman. So his sex game is probably really tight, and he's probably broke.
That wasn't the illegal dealers then, because they was about getting that money. They wasn't lazy. They was up and out and at it. They wasn't on the corners and laying up with women. They were about getting their money. So I wouldn't call them a Pookie.
Like the weed dealer that's 20 years later still selling weed. He ain't up his game yet. He's still selling dime bags.
They still the D boy. They not the shot collar. They still the D boy.
Yeah. He's not ambitious at all.
Okay,
right. He should be a drug lord by now.
Okay, yeah, he is not trying to move up the ladder. You ain't never lied.
Right. He should not still be on the corner.
That part.
Yeah. They say 4 out of 10 black women experience some form of DV.
Yeah.
4 out of 10.
Either physical assault, such as hitting, or actual sexual assault from their mates.
So
I can't even begin to tell you how many. I want to say almost every single one of my friends has been assaulted in some form or fashion by a man they were dealing with, whether it be sexual or then slapped, punched, choked, not in a sexual way. So it's definitely, I know almost every single. I cannot think of one right now off the top of my head that has not experienced something.
Oh, wow.
That is ridiculous.
I wonder what the number is. I wonder what the number is for deaths that occurred.
Okay. Gail said to use the word deleted instead of the K word when talking about somebody who's unalive.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Thank you so much, Gail. I mean, how do you know the vocabulary of what's the vocabulary, I wonder?
I see a lot of YouTubers that change their verbiage to accommodate that, and even Facebook videos.
How do you know?
I don't know. There's too many different ways to say different things, so we just have to be conscious of it. I'm still trying to work it out in my head to be conscious of how I say things instead of just speaking how it comes out of my mind. I gotta rethink my wording.
Right. Yeah, me too. I mean, we'll start learning because we will be here for a while. I knew it was something with your favorite promise, and she just confirmed for me when she said K Michelle. What do you mean by that, Poppy Blanco? Yeah, K Michelle is the ultimate. She may still see in the StreamYard. My bad. Okay. Attraction is not a choice. Woo! Some see ya.
Some see ya. What does that say? Is it Simsia? S-I-M?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. No, yeah, S-I-M. Yeah. If anyone else want to come up and share your hood experiences, please do. But that is crazy. That is
I'm going to kick some more numbers out at you, though. More than 20% of black women.
Huh?
Go ahead one more time.
No, I was telling you I was asking you to look that up about the deaths of black women at the hands of that percentage of their mates.
Okay. Well, let me see. I do have some stats I pulled up, but let me see. We'll see if we get to the one you were looking for. If not, I'll go look for it. Let's see. Black women, more than 20% of black women are raped during their lifetimes.
Ooh, 20%?
This is higher
That's,
than any other
is
race.
there age group on that, or is that just like from childbirth to? I mean, not childbirth, from children
I
up
know what you
to.
mean. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. That's
We
just a
also
big number.
experience significantly higher rates of psychological abuse
Mm-hmm.
than any other race, as well as financial abuse
Mm-hmm.
and coercive control. Wow. Well, we
Coercive
just be
control.
catching it.
Right. I know we what's the stat you looking for, OG? That what a black woman die every 4 hours, every 6 hours? Is that one?
Well, at the percentage that they are at the hands of their
Right.
Mates.
black counterparts.
I believe that's every 6 hours a day. So that's what, 4 a day, if I'm not mistaken. I mean,
One every 6 hours will work out to 4 a day. Yes.
okay, yeah. So a black woman every 6 hours is getting um
Deleted.
deleted. Thank you, because I was stuck by someone that they thought
They
loved them.
know.
Yeah, that they know. Right. Some are simply attracted to what feels familiar, have to relearn what qualities are attract. That's a really good point. I mean, because to be honest with you, I love a Pookie and a Ray Ray. They are so much fun. They are
But is that
fun.
what's familiar for you, or what's the opposite for you?
I
Because I
mean,
think it could go either way. But
right.
definitely, we are attracted to what we're comfortable with, our comfort
Mhm.
zone. Some women may feel like because they're kind of hood and ratchet that they wouldn't fit in well with someone more sophisticated.
Right.
So they stick with the Pookies and Ray Rays
Right.
because
Because
that's
they're
their
bold
comfort zone.
too. Hmm.
And then you have other ratchet women that say, I don't want to be with Pookie and Ray Ray. I want that executive over there. So it can
Right.
go either way.
Or just
Right.
that blue collar guy that got a real job, that's getting up every
Hmm.
morning, that may work at the meat market, or may work as an auto mechanic or something. So yeah,
Well, he
absolutely.
bringing home a roast every once in a while from the meat plant. We can get along.
Exactly.
Wow, you
Remember,
don't
remember,
want to talk
remember
about
those
roast,
butchers?
yo.
I'm gonna bring some oxtails.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, but as women, that is a good point. And Cynthia first made the point. I love it. Attraction is not a choice, but
It's definitely
what
not.
it's not a choice, but what we do with that choice is everything. Like I do love hood dudes. Because they're bold and they're funny. They're bold. They don't. A lot of times if when I run into professional men, they don't know how to. Just like anyone, they don't know how to take me at first. You have to be a fellow professional nut to appreciate me when you first meet me. So they're kind of looking and they're like, oh man, she's gonna ruin my career. This and that and that.
I think you just have
Roy
to be a
career
nut
is
in general. I don't think you need to be a professional nut, just a nut.
No, I'm just talking about, when they meet me, I'm
I
supposed to
know.
be
They just need to be
professional.
a nut to understand you.
Oh, okay, got you. But but no, I was referring to the professional men. They thinking
I
I'm gonna
thought
make.
shade.
Okay.
Totally messed up my joke.
I know. Sorry. Kenny, come on now. You and Trash Can Ways, I expect better out of y'all. Y'all are top tier clowners now. Come on now. What's the word? Roasters.
Whatever. Continue on.
But I am slow tonight, though. I'm not quick at all. But yeah, but I know I can't do that. I don't like dudes calling my job, blowing up my spot, because a lot of times, especially when you are a professional and you're dealing with Pookie and Ray Rays, they are the first thing that they're going to do to try to manipulate you is to be like, oh, you think you better than me? Oh, you got that job, or your job, you think your job better than me? You know what I'm saying? Like, so who wants to deal with that? And then, like I said, like I keep saying, they calling your job, they blowing up your spot. I mean, I don't care per se, but I don't want my peers. Thank God at the time, my peers, they kind of understood me and they thought it was funny. What's up?
Sis, I told you years ago, if you stop licking the taint, they will stop coming to your job. You
I
got to keep your
know,
tongue
but
off
I
that
like
taint,
doing
girl.
it. I love the taste. It's just a different type of taste, Shut up. I ain't looking no taint. And you
That's
can
why I
talk
have
about
a dude
You've been talking about taint a lot lately, so I got a little suspicious that you went down that road or been down that road. You've been talking about that a
Really?
lot
You
lately.
really think so? But no, seriously though, that had to do looking for you at your job in the daytime with a flashlight, wearing bunny slippers.
I know with a house coat on.
Oh wait.
Yeah, that's not cool. So we have to. So I had to learn to control that urge to want, and and just become, I guess, make myself a little bit more calm when I first meet someone that is on the same page as me. So they want to take
Hmm.
me the wrong way, and then their personality would come out, and then we're enjoying each other. But it's hard. It's really hard when you like certain things. I like funny guys. Some Vega says some are simply attracted to what feels familiar, have to relearn what qualities are attractive. That is the best point ever. Best point ever.
All right.
And unfortunately, this young lady, she did not have the time to relearn. What she did is what a lot of women do. That's what we do. I mean, he's a good-looking guy. I'm pretty sure he was very charismatic. I'm pretty sure he was very funny. I mean, she probably was tired of the guys that she was working with, or she probably was someone like me. Someone she wanted to be quirky or fun or weird, and the men are probably looking at her like, well, aren't you supposed to be X, Y, and Z? Why are you behaving like this? Or why are you making this off-colored joke? Or, and she didn't want to deal with that. She wanted to get straight to to the crux of it. What were you laughing at, Gabe?
Girl, Snuggles is back.
Oh, hey, Snuggles. Yeah, I was thinking about Snuggles today. He came back full force.
He's came in talking about being well endowed and stuff. Not him
Oh,
per se, just well,
and
we don't know if it's a him or her, but
I don't know. Yeah, Lead said that, but I'm pretty sure it's a man. Because
I
the
want
women,
Snuggles to just answer that one question, male or female. You don't have to
right,
ask about race or anything. We just need to know if you're a male or female so we can use the right pronoun, or if you are they or them, whatever. Just give us something. I need a pronoun for you. But go
right.
ahead.
Yeah, his pronoun is Snuggles. That's what he got us at, right? He said,
Snuggles. His name is motherfucker Snuggles.
exactly. I know I'm way behind Black girls getting this shift together, but Junebug, I know. Now that Junebug, that's that hood dude, man. I don't mess with hood. I don't mess with Junebug.
I know a couple of country ass June bugs. I don't know a hood ass June bug.
Yeah, I've
I
met.
do. I grew up with the
It's scary.
hood June bug, but he was that cool dude that he would look out for you and protect you in the neighborhood. But honey, he would do some stuff.
If you got to, right?
He would do some stuff. June bug would do some stuff.
Exactly. It's not that he won't do, but he gonna look after you if you're on the same page with him. But Poppy Blanco asked, so does everyone know the exact details why? No, they don't know the exact details why. I mean, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. If you're talking about this article, Poppy Blanco TV, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. It was no forced entry or anything of that nature, and he felt powerless. He felt that she was probably better than him.
Is
And
that what he said?
I say he probably felt that
Oh,
she was
okay.
better than him. No, I mean, I don't know any of the details except 3 a.m. and no forced entry. And I know that.
I'm waiting on maybe his family to maybe come out and talk about possibly some type of mental illness he was battling, because on the tape there was a tape that the neighbor from the building across from her that was watching it unfold when he was outside and jumping from apartment to apartment. He got it on tape, and it's on tape on the 911 call. He's hollering out, yeah, I killed that bee. I killed that bee. That bee dead. That's on tape. So I think it's possibly some mental thing going on with that guy too. I'm just waiting on the family to come out and say he battled some type of mental illness too.
Right. And just like, even though the lead, I felt it was funny, with that guy who said his girlfriend had just died and he just buried her the day before. And,
Mhm.
and I was wondering, was he lying, or was he just, did he have a girlfriend that really died? And Lee was like, y'all forget that there is such a thing as mental illness, and I was just thinking, well, how could that be? He seemed functional, but that's a very good point, OG, how this guy, I mean, even though he's on a mugshot, but he, obviously did they say how long they dated though?
I haven't
No,
seen it yet.
no, that hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, I mean, what could have been going on for him to, it seemed like it was a short span of time they were saying. So did they say like 3 months or something to that effect, or it wasn't that long? I mean, but how long can someone with a mental illness hide it? Or maybe she did
Exactly.
notice it. Maybe she did notice it, and
Because I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, if it was a mental illness, a lot of times if they stop taking a medicine,
Mm,
boom, then there ends the problem. If he was taking some kind of psychosis medicine or some for bipolar perhaps, or something like that, it's a possibility. If he stopped taking his medicine, he was having these,
Right,
episodes
but
and
and the trick
snaps,
with that,
and
the
maybe
trick with,
she
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, maybe she had to see something early on to break off the relationship, right? We as women, we know when we start to see a certain pattern or behavior in men, we like, oh, okay, something seriously wrong with dude. So like, I got to
mm.
break this off, and I think that's what she did.
Just like I noticed right away, I just, possibly that guy girlfriend could have died, but either way, I felt it wasn't, something didn't sit well with my spirit to go out with a man, even though he was very good looking. He was well spoken and everything. Just very very well look. Very good looking. For me to pass that up. I mean, but something didn't sit well with that story. And so I mean, I think you have to be something that can't be right in your head if you so quick to want to move on that, just the day before you buried your girlfriend. So, maybe thank God, maybe I pass up a situation where, but go back to my other point, even if you do notice something, or if it's time to let a man go, please take my word for it. Let them think they breaking up with you. You want to be left alone. You want that peace of mind. And a lot of times, when they break, when you break up, they go come back in some way, shape, or form. Just have it where they're in control. You do not want to ever let a man feel like they're not in control when it's time to break up, because most of the time it's going to go well, but there's that small percentage of time where it's not going to go well, and it's not worth finding out. It's really, really not. When I realized that guy was calling my job and popping up and all this foolishness, okay, I knew right then and there, and I was already being kind of cool, but I needed to be really, really extra cool, because if you already to that point, good grief, who knows? I didn't think that he would, but I still didn't want to find out. And no, I'm not amassing all Pookie and Ray Rays as murderers. The point is, like Kay was trying to say earlier, this is a young lady who was a well-accomplished lawyer at a young age, and she let this man into her life, and he was a walking red flag. So I mean, so like we mentioned earlier as well, what Patrice was saying also, with the executive woman who's only in her 40s or 50s, and she was with this other guy that worked at the bank. Now that's something where you just can't engage it. You would think with background checks and everything, and under work pressure, that someone's gonna be normal. But when you're dealing with a Pookie and a Ray Ray, she.
See, that's what I was actually saying, was that we can't
Mhm.
generalize Pookie and Ray Rays as the violent type.
No,
Just
no,
because
no.
they may be
Right.
Let me
trifling
finish.
doesn't mean
No,
they're violent.
right, but when you're
Right.
dealing with, my
So
point is,
I'm
let me explain
correcting
my
what you
point.
just said. What you
Let me.
just said was what Kasha said, or what Kay said was
Mm.
this, and that's not what I said. So I'm just saying I
Oh,
didn't
oh,
say
oh,
that.
oh, 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 oh.
I just wanted to
No,
clear that up.
no, I'm just saying you was correcting me on that. You was correcting me. I said, like Kay said, you're not supposed to. I didn't do it right.
No, mm-mm.
Okay, or
That's why I
no.
wanted to
So
clear it up real quick, because I didn't say anything
okay.
close to what you said.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, we're not supposed to amass any group of people as murderers and killers. Did I say that correctly?
Thank you.
Right. Yeah, I think I did say that. We rewind
That's
it.
not, no, that's not what you said. But
Okay,
go
I
ahead.
got you.
Trust me.
My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. I apologize. But yeah, but he this a lot of times these guys are walking red flags. Is a no-brainer red flag. Hey, blind guy, his wife. Thank y'all. I've been missing y'all a lot lately because I've been at work now. I have a job. Oh, and y'all be coming on at 11. I think y'all came on right when I was on my evening shift too. But I'm gonna start catching back up. I really miss y'all guys. Hey, Kay and Patrice Garner. Look at y'all on the panel. Hello to you, host, your favorite pharmacist. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you coming back. Thank you so much. And they say greetings to the chat. Trash Can Wave says she's not gonna like the order of those names. Your best male friend. I'm not sure. Blind guy, his wife, their life. Goodbyes, goodbyes. That's my vivid life. Trash Can Wave said, be careful with guys that are too normal, too perfect, because most likely they practice daily to portray themselves as that.
And they are psychotic.
That is an excellent point. So yeah, when they saying everything just right, when they pause to talk and say certain things, that's an excellent point. How you know, Trash Can Wave? Let me see.
Another
Thank you,
one would
Gail.
be
Mhm.
another one would be narcissistic sociopaths too. Be
Ooh,
aware of
honey.
them. They're very dangerous.
Very, very dangerous, mentally and physically.
Now, none of us are psychiatrists or psychological professionals, but how are
Right.
they? From what y'all know, from y'all perspective, let's round it off as that. How are they dangerous, and what are they, and how are they dangerous?
Well, most narcissists are playing a mental game with you more than anything else. So
Mhm.
mentally, they can totally manipulate and frustrate you, and it could possibly lead to violence because they can push you to the point where you might strike out. I mean, they are
True. They like pushing buttons.
extremely, extremely manipulative. They are always the victim,
Always.
always the victim, and it's all about them. They make every situation about them. Um, yeah, their goal in life is to control your emotions.
They can, yeah, I agree with K 100%. They can, you listen, you can catch them dead smack in the affair, in the bed with someone, and they will find a way to turn it back on you and make it your fault. Like, yeah, and it's different kinds of narcissists as well. I had to leave a girlfriend alone that was an overt narcissist, and she was like on paper diagnosed as it, but I couldn't deal with her. I like that girl made me want to hurt her. Seriously, I was like, I
What was she
literally
doing?
Like, they can
overt
push you to violence.
narcissists. Yes, our overt narcissists are people that it's the same thing. They want everything to be about them. They always want the light shining on them. They want people to always continuously lift them up. They do
Mhm.
little petty things to pick at you, and it, like any little thing they'll do to pick at you, and then when you bring it to their attention, again they'll make it be about
They're
your
shocked.
fault, like as if you're crazy. It's sort of like they're like people that piss on you and try to tell you it's raining, basically.
Mhm.
Right.
They will definitely be
They're
on you
They
until
types.
it's
lack
right.
empathy. They
Yes.
Oh, no
lack
empathy.
empathy.
Oh my
None.
God, none,
They will look
none.
you right in your eye, and you can be crying your eyeballs out, and they just
Yep. No
Hmm.
emotion, no empathy, none of that.
They
Yes, you're right.
have
Like
they
I
they
literally
think
had to leave her alone.
they're an overabundance of self-importance.
Yep.
And
oh
Yep.
like she
gosh,
was saying, where that person, she wanted to hurt old girl, she was ready to hit her. They'll
right,
take you there. They will
right,
take you there to the
and
cusp
it's
of violence. And
Yes.
yeah.
they have a whole little thing they do where they make themselves appear as something completely different than what they are. Like I know this
Absolutely.
one chick in particular, her goal in life was to steal someone's husband, but she was just as friendly. We all were hanging out together, And something about it, I was just like, she's not as nice as she's appearing to be, you know? And she got real close to my girl, and I'm telling my girl, watch this hoe. Watch her. Keep your eye on her. I'm telling you. You know, we're all hanging out 2, 3 o'clock in the morning playing cards. She want to stay after the wife has gone to bed. No, I want to stay right here and watch you, hoe. You know, because I just know that she's up to something.
Right.
And but she portrayed herself to be the sweetest, most genuine, sincere person you ever want to meet. But
Hmm.
something just didn't smell right. And sure enough, she stole that woman's husband
Wow.
right out from under her nose while being her friend in her face. It was the craziest thing. But every she checked off the entire list for narcissism.
That's
Hmm.
I've never ran into a female, a woman narcissist. I cannot imagine because women already we can already be somewhat manipulative. I cannot
Hmm.
imagine having a disease state, a pathology on top of that. XDMC said, "What the f? I just came on and I hear hi yellow Pookie and Ray Ray. I guess I better rewind." Well, we referred to Pookie and Ray Ray, and we shared an article
That's my
again.
guy.
uh,
FDMC, that's my guy. He said that because he on that spectrum, of the high yellow.
oh, is he now? I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, we were talking about this young lady, Courtney Cox, 31 years old. She's an Atlanta, Georgia lawyer, and she was killed by this gentleman called Jarvis Jarrett. And she, a 31-year-old lawyer, very, prominent. She's a part of a law firm, a partner, if I'm not mistaken, which is very hard to do, especially at a young age. Um, Lived downtown Atlanta in the Peachtree district, which is very ritzy. And he was in her home 3 o'clock in the morning, no forced entry, and he, deleted her and had a shootout with the cops, and they deleted him. And so it's just a big old tragedy. And basically, as women, we just if there's a walking red flag, definitely not. Okay, is it fair to say that Pookie and Ray Ray's can be a red flag, not
For
red
violence,
flag?
not necessarily. No.
Okay, I mean, but when it comes to women and dating and having certain men into our lives, are so
That's
these are
different. That's a different topic.
right. I'm just saying. I'm just talking about in red flags in general. You
But red
know,
flags for what? For being trifling or
Well,
red
well,
flags
well,
for being violent?
that's the thing about red flags. We don't know how the red flag will manifest itself. So if it's a man that's an obvious red flag, of course, it doesn't have to lead to the worst case scenario. But no,
I
we don't
mean,
want, hey, we don't want a Pookie and Ray Ray in our life. Do you want a
I
Pookie and Ray Ray
agree.
in my life? Okay, so that's
No,
the thing.
but we can't say you should avoid Pookie and Ray Ray because they may be violent. Because this, let me give you an example. It's
Mhm.
kind of way off, but this I'm going somewhere with this. So
So you can
when
be
they
way off
teach,
and I can't be way off. Go ahead.
I'm going somewhere with it though.
I was too.
so,
I was going nowhere
so,
with mine. I was going somewhere
so
nowhere.
listen. Okay, so when they teach sex ed in school, okay,
Mhm.
they show pictures of the worst looking genitalia on earth as far as what the hell is that noise?
It's my dog. Hold on, I get him. Go ahead, keep
Oh,
talking.
good
I can hear
gracious.
you. I know.
Okay, but they show pictures of worst case scenario STDs, right? So when you show those pictures, then when they're looking at actual genitalia face to face or whatever, they're not thinking this person may have an STD because what they saw was the worst possible scenario. So these people look clean. You thinking, oh, so you don't have any bumps and sores and pus and crust on your genitalia, so you're safe. So that's like saying that Pookie and Ray Rays are that far extreme on the spectrum, but then when we're with the clean cut guy that could be just as batshit crazy as Pookie or as a Pookie or a Ray Ray or anybody else under the sun, we don't see those signs because we're looking for Pookie and Ray Ray signs. Do you see where I went with that? We got to
No.
have a more realistic view of
I
what we're
do.
looking for when we're looking for those red flags. So which red flags are we looking for right now? We look for red flags of you being trifling and you have no goals in life and you just want to use me up, or are we looking at red flags for someone who might want to hurt me or delete me?
Right. And I think that those are different red flags, right?
Different red flags. So
Yeah.
when you say
So I agree with
it's a definite red flag because he's a Pookie and a Ray Ray, I'm not seeing the correlation to the violence.
right. Because I mean, I can kind of, I can kind of sense the smooks, the Pookie and Ray Rays, right, kind of a mile away, based
Hmm.
off of like the way they dressed, the way they talk. You can kind of, I can kind of base them. You're like, okay, that's a Pookie and a Ray Ray. He's standing in front of the liquor store. He's standing on a corner. Yeah, and he may be nice. Don't get me wrong. He'll be that guy that if you walk past him, they'll try to speak and flirt with you. Hey, mama.
Open doors.
But it's in that hood way. And I smile and keep it moving. Hey, how you doing? I don't. I speak to anybody that's speaking to me. I don't care who you are on the street. I speak. If you speak to me, but that's the difference. Now, the opposite of what we're talking about, like this young man that did this to this attorney, she probably started seeing signs of violence in him. He probably did things like snatch her hand, grab her up, maybe choked her up,
Pushed her.
said
Something.
some threatening things to her. So she's okay, okay, okay. Now that's a whole nother level of a red flag, right? Like that's
Mhm.
major. That's on a major level. So now I got to stop dealing with dude because there's some violence in him, and I'm seeing it early. So she probably said, I got to leave him alone. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
and then that's when he can't take rejection. Men like that
Mhm.
can't take rejection too. So, mhm.
Hey, black girls, getting their shit together. I mean, but hold on before you go. But we can agree if I mean we all do it, especially when we're younger. In a lot of cases. But we can agree a red flag is a red flag, and we don't want to manifest. We don't know how it's gonna manifest. I mean, she could have. I mean, can we agree that she looked like a red flag? Did he look like a red flag? I
To
mean, if
be a
he
killer? I'm sorry, I
no
can't
no
say that word.
a red
To be a
flag.
deleter?
Okay. We
I'm
okay.
asking what kind of red flag?
Okay, when you're a single woman, let me put it in perspective. I'm a single woman, right? I'm a single woman.
Yes.
If I see someone who appears to have Pookie and Ray Ray traits, okay, and someone who I'm not, I'm a single woman. I'm not gonna put them in my life because that's
Okay.
to me okay. So what is a Pookie and Ray Ray? Let's go back to the definition of what's a
That's
Pookie
the
and Ray Ray.
question of the Pookie and the Ray Ray does not directly correlate to violence.
Right. Okay.
Correct.
So
What
you
is
can
a
say, I don't
what?
want a trifling man in my life.
Right. That's a
So I
red
don't want a
flag.
Pookie and a Ray Ray. That's a
That's
red flag for trifling.
but no
That's
no
not a
red
red
no no
flag
no
for
no no red
violence.
flag is red flag though. A red flag is a red
No,
flag.
it's not.
Hold
It
on.
depends.
So okay, so
It's
I want
not.
a trifling man in my life. That's a red flag.
Some people like Pookies and Ray Rays,
Right, but as a
but that doesn't
woman,
mean a Pookie or Ray Ray is going to delete
of
them.
course, yeah, I totally agree. But as
So that's
so,
the point we're making.
so the message for women who are single and dating, when you see a red flag from a man, leave that man alone. And no, it does not have to manifest to a full-fledged murder. No. I mean, excuse me, full-fledged deleting. No. But a red flag as women who are single and who are dating, we need to see red flags and we need to acknowledge them and we need to leave those alone. What do you have to say, Black Girls Getting Their Shift Together? How y'all doing? Thank you for coming up.
Thank you for
Hey, black
having
girl.
me. Hey,
Hey, black girl.
Patrice.
Hey,
Patricia is all around town. And hey, Miss B Finesse, thank you so much for coming up. And I'm still waiting for the email. We're supposed to be doing a panel or something all together with some other people. So let me know. But thank you for coming by. I know you're one of the hardest working women in show business. So, but what you have to say, Miss Black Girls Getting Their Shift Together?
Well, I hear what you ladies are saying, and they all are red flags. But as women, we also have to recognize the signs of love bombing which is a
Mm.
huge red flag
Mm.
because you hear somebody telling you, especially if you're fine, a woman really looks good. You have a man telling you early on that he loves you, he wants to have all of your time, um, planning so far in the future, and you all just met.
Mm.
Those are red flags as well.
Right.
And then if
Absolutely.
you're feeling lonely, or if you haven't been with a man in a while, or you just wanting someone that is so appealing, yes, that is definitely a red flag. It's just wrapped up in a pretty bow. It's a lot more
Mm.
socially acceptable.
Right. So you're saying basically it's not just for the Pookie and Ray Rays. You're just saying in general because all men get it. So that's like a trait of a narcissist, basically.
Absolutely. And it can be Brads and Chads as well.
Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. Thank you. This
Mm-hmm.
is what we've been saying. Why did you just now understand it?
No, I mean it's still. When we talk about red flag, I think about people. I'm thinking about red flags, but you could be. You're right. You're right. You're fine. You're right. What were we saying, that hun, Mrs. I keep want to call you Mrs. Get your shift together, but it's just get your shift together.
You can call me anything you want
No, don't do
in
that
that
now.
name.
But yeah, that's the classic case scenario of narcissist.
Oh
And
my God,
then they were.
definitely.
Have you had any fun experiences with narcissists? Because I know I had.
Oh
I
my
had a
God.
narcissist in my. I only had one, and that was one too many.
I've had one, and it was the best and the worst relationship I
Mm.
ever had
The
because,
best and the worst. So you must have not too far removed from that situation
oh,
for
I'm
you to.
very removed from it. The reason why I say it was the best
Okay.
because, first of all, he was fine as hell. I'm not
Mm.
gonna lie. He's definitely a covert narcissist, so I couldn't see it. You know, he was like a snake charmer.
Okay.
And when we dated, when I say it was the best, because there was so much love bombing. And I'll admit I was vibrating lower at that time. So it
Mm.
all sounded good. All right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, and when you say you were vibrating lower, what do you mean by that?
Oh, my self-worth was lower.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize it because if I did, I would not have stayed in that relationship.
Right.
Right.
Mm.
Can you
When
Mm-hmm.
you
define love
accept shit,
bombing?
excuse me.
Can you define love bombing? I've never heard that term before.
Oh yeah, sure. Love bombing. It looks differently. You know, if you meet a man or your partner, whatever you're into, and they make all these grand romantic gestures, they're to give you so many gifts,
Over
they
the top.
compliment you. Yeah, over the top. Everything's over
They
the top.
Uh-huh.
blowing up your
Extra.
phone. They always telling you
Yeah,
how beautiful you are. Oh my God, they gotta be with you. Oh,
Too
we just
much
got
too
to lunch.
soon.
too
Yes.
much too
I mean,
soon.
they
Okay,
bomb you
gotcha.
with love.
Yeah,
Bomb you. And it's only day number
literally.
2.
Right. So literally, if you can imagine the in the war movies and you see these big planes and the bombs are just flying down, that's exactly what it looks like. And whoever said over the top, that's it right there. And meanwhile, it's sounding so good. Slowly, you're isolating yourself from your friends and family because
Mm-hmm.
you're just being loved and bathed and all of that. But once they get you and they know, excuse me, this is my experience.
And it's usually the same. The
It is.
narcissists, they give you the same foolishness. It's almost the same timeline too. Go ahead.
Exactly. And like Gail said, overly romantic. So
Mm,
that's why I said it was the best. But little did
right,
I
true.
know that it was the worst. It literally was a ticking time bomb and I had no idea. And then when I started to see it, because I had lost my voice because I was so glad. I was like, I had this fine ass man on my arm, and I mean he looked good, but he literally was a different person behind closed doors. And then when I allowed him into my heart, that's when the discard came and he threw me away. And that's what they
Mm.
do. And they go on to the next because it you know what it is? They feed off of uh the things that they tell people because they lack that from within themselves.
And they need supply too.
That's exactly it. It's like we're a host, we're supplies. So nothing's wrong with getting compliments at all and everything I just stated, but the going above and beyond and over the top, that's a red flag. It just looks good and it feels good. Because how can you say, oh, I'm being abused and you're feeling really warm and fuzzy? Because normally people associate it with getting beat up or unalived, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, those narcissists, they you know, and usually people who go to such extremes when they lose their power, they they have narcissistic traits, but it's horrible. I mean, I had one. Oh, the answer Poppy Blanco. He said, "Why is the man calling your job like it's 1980s? Don't you have an iPhone or Android?" Yes, I had changed my phone number, so they had to catch me at my job. So that's why I was getting the calls at my job because I changed my phone number because I didn't want to be bothered. So that's why I got
How,
stupid.
how long ago
But
was that comment?
I know I'm so behind. I'm waiting. Let me go over there. But yeah, like you said, it's the best and the worst. I mean, I had one. It was this and like you said, they have to catch you at the right time for them or the wrong time for you. And they
Girl,
and they,
say
and they,
it.
and they
Yes.
will sniff you out like a truffle pig too. They
Well, because we're the emotion, if you're like that, and I'm sure a lot of us, so I'm saying this not in a judgmental way, because I've been there, but when you are the lowest hanging emotional fruit, they're gonna grab
Mhm.
that shit quick.
Hmm. They can sniff out the vulnerability.
Absolutely.
Yes, I love what Gail Lockett said. They usually love bomb and make sure that their ex knows about it in an effort to regain supply. They always have to have a spare to move on to.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
and they supply could be anything. It can be money, it can be sex, it can be just to piss someone off, an ex off. It's just so many different things. Hey, Aubrey Harris, how are you? Thank you for coming. Thank you. Not familiar with you. I don't think Kay is either. But thank you for coming. But yeah, they just the worst. They just the worst. I don't know what that young lady was going through. I just
I think women need to know the difference too, because these are telltale signs that we are experiencing in relationships and dating. And I think women need to know the difference between a covert and an overt narcissist and a narcissistic sociopath and this love bomb thing.
Mhm.
Because,
mhm,
like she said, if women are, coming in with these low vibrations, low self esteem,
mm,
low self worth, and all of this, and then all of a sudden this guy is showering her and slowly drawing her away from her family, of course the family gonna see through it. They're gonna be like, he a little bit much. And you're gonna be like, oh, why you say that? Why you think that? You hating, because that's
Hating.
tend to where we go with that stuff. So women got to really pay attention and start really, really vetting and knowing the difference and seeing these
Yes.
red flags in men early on.
Can I say another thing?
oh yeah, definitely. Yes.
There's all, and I just learned this earlier this year that there are sexual narcissists. So
That's the one
meanwhile,
I
you
Oh
getting
God.
that,
or a
yes,
sexual
We
or
talked
a
about
demon,
that
a
one.
sexual demon, honey. Ooh, they would put it
yeah.
down, honey. They
Are
would
we
have you
are
doing
we talking
all
about
kind of
demon
stuff.
dick now?
Yes, demon, not demon time, but demon dick. Honey. They will have you doing
De-
stuff and you will like it.
No, love
Now,
it.
now
So a friend
explain
told
what
me.
that
Go ahead.
is.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I had a
No,
flashback. Go ahead.
I just wanted her to explain what a
This,
sexual narcissist is.
Or a
yeah,
sexual demon.
they have perfected the sex game.
Or incubus. That's another word for incubus. A male.
Succubus.
A succubus is a woman. An incubus is a
I know.
man one.
I know.
oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I've
Well,
been called that, so that's why I know all of a sudden. Go ahead.
You would call a succubus because they used to call you jawbone.
Call me jawbone.
Never mind,
well,
you missed it. It's okay. Go ahead.
you and I, like I said, I just learned this term, and it was so interesting because I believe the last one I had was also that. And
Mhm.
from my experience, the sex we had, it was good, but it was, now that my head is clearer, it was
It's
just,
unnatural.
say that again.
Was it unnatural?
What part? Unnatural.
The
Oh, the
sex. Was it so good it was unnatural?
No, I've had that before. That's another show.
Oh, girl, what? Oh, yes.
Hey,
Can we do that show together, y'all, girl? Because
hey, I'm all in.
I already emailed you, pharmacist, so check your
oh
email.
yes.
But
You done messed up, girl. You need to watch our other lives. I don't know if you want to do that with us, honey, because we do not know how to act. Okay.
girl, okay, just check your email. But the sex with us, it was between us, it was more performative on his end.
I can see that.
But not that it was. How
I
can
can. I got what you're saying. Yeah, it's they do it on purpose to keep you suspended in a bullshit. Basically, is
Uh,
that?
yeah, I mean, you can say that too,
Mm,
but it was performative for him because it was more of stroking his own ego. Meanwhile, I'm thinking we're in the throes of love and we're just getting together and the emotional part, but he was so emotionally detached. Just
He
like
was
one of you
performing like
ladies
he's on
said,
camera.
absolutely. But it was more
Mm.
to stroke his
Oh
ego.
wow.
So then when the act was done, so wasn't I. You see what I'm saying? And I'm thinking that
Mm.
we're you get it. So yeah, it was more of his ego stroke and satisfying his own self, but not us as partners.
Right.
hold up. So he didn't
That's
care
Right.
about you being
narcissistic.
pleased because isn't that the part of the hook, or what are you saying?
He was pleasing me, but you know what? It was like having sex with a dead soul.
Oh
Damn.
my.
But I
Damn.
wasn't vibrating higher like I am now, so I couldn't recognize it.
Right.
Like so,
Okay.
like sex with no connection. He was
Exactly.
not connected. He wasn't in. He wasn't like into you per se. He was into the act
Exactly.
and
The
performing for the cameras that
performative.
weren't there.
Well, the cameras were in his head. The cameras were his
Right.
ego.
The cameras. Right. Oh
Oh
wow.
wow.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
And so, what made you think about that with him? What made you think he was fitting that?
Oh, well, I didn't realize that till a couple years after he discarded me because that's what
Mm-hmm.
they do. And I was in therapy. Okay, I'm a really Patrice probably's heard this story before.
Okay.
So I went to therapy because I was so distraught over the breakup.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
As the therapist and I were peeling back the layers. Wait, what did Poppy say? I'm some Ghostbuster type of time. What does this mean?
I think that's an old one. That's isn't that old, or is that the new one he's saying?
I don't know. But anyway, come to find out, he had nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
It
hold up.
was
You're right. What is he saying? I
I
thought that
don't
was an
know.
old one. Gold Carlo is on. Oh, me. I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
First of all, can we
Yeah,
just acknowledge that trash can think you got a man hostage in your basement,
I
Tish?
wish. I wish because I would
All
not be
that
here.
noise that Carlos making over there.
Oh.
He swears a human being.
No, it's my baby. Okay, go ahead, sweetheart. I'm sorry.
no, it's fine. But yeah, it just when I went to therapy is when I found all of that out, and it really had nothing to do with him. It ended up coming from childhood because
Mm-hmm.
I ended up having when I started thinking about it, I'm dating men that were emotionally unavailable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, go figure. My father was emotionally unavailable.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's a lot more layers to it, but
Right. So I mean, it always starts with us and what we allow into our lives. And then
exactly.
we have to realize there are people out there perusing around sniffing out weakness. I mean, we kind of give human nature too much credit sometimes, but these men, I like to say, they are not playing. They are not playing with us at all.
And
Okay, they will suck
exactly.
you dry, and not necessarily in a monetary type way. They just do it for fun. They do it for sport.
Are we
Right.
talking in a clitoral kind of way? Because
They
But
will
we
suck.
have to say
It'll be,
not all men though.
oh no
Not
no no
of
no
course,
no yeah
absolutely not.
we love our
no.
kings. We love our
Oh
kings.
yeah, I love my black man. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking so much smack about him. I'd be having me a white man tied up in the basement. But anyway.
But yeah, Atlanta's been popping since all of that was going on.
Oh, so you down there now?
I am.
Oh, so what is so have you heard any more details about it?
I have not, because of the type of work I do. I
Mhm.
can't listen to any radio or TV. It's just not accessible.
Okay.
But not too far from there. It was a lot of activity,
And
but
where she lives is a very expensive area too, right?
well, it depends. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's definitely high.
I know she was living at a high rise down Peachtree area. I heard.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like 13th and Peachtree.
Oh, so yeah, Midtown. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
nice area of town for sure.
yeah. So I mean, so what would I mean? I can't talk, and then asking what would make a beautiful young woman entertain such a man. That's a bad question. Um, and like you said, you've been to therapy, and therapy is so good because it will force you to. If you find a good one now, what kind of therapist did you have? Like an African American therapist, or what kind of therapist was it? Someone
Oh,
that looked like you, or who
oh,
was it?
she was a sister. She looked
Okay,
just
good.
as brown and beautiful as the ladies on this panel.
Okay, good.
And
Yeah,
it was,
Stop it.
yeah, that's the only kind. For me, that's what works because we were relatable and she met me where
Mm-hmm.
I was.
right. I love that. I love how
I
you said
said the
that.
same thing about my therapist. Actually, I found out later my therapist was Bernie Mac's daughter.
Oh wow, yeah, you did say that. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I mean, so okay, so I want to ask some more details about it, whatever. But I mean, so about the guy. I mean, have he known of having shown any mental health issues that anyone mentioned that you caught wind of in Atlanta, or no?
What do you mean?
That has the gentleman who did the deleting. Did he
Uh-huh.
have any mental health issues that you heard about, rumors in the ATL or
Oh,
anything?
I haven't, but it's so funny. I had said this earlier in the chat before I jumped on
Hmm.
that maybe he could have just been straight up controlling and evil,
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you know?
And you have to be careful how you break up with these men and women. I mean, because women are known to key cars. Women are known to, put
That's
eggs on your
right.
cars, put sugar in your tank, come to your house, blow up the spot. Women are known for the same thing. So just in general, just men, not just for the women breaking up with men, you got to be careful. I mean, like I would tell all of the people in my life, just let them think they broke up with you. It is so worth it. It's just
And
not,
that really is not bad advice.
yeah. I mean, you said it is or it's not.
It's not. It's
No,
not
it's
bad
it's
advice.
it's not. It's just not worth it. I mean, because a lot of time as women, because I'm a woman, we want to really give that man that, let him know I don't want you, I don't need you, screw you. No, 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 no. And where that's gonna get you? They may go away quietly, or they may do some low level stuff and probably, like I said, pop up at your job or call your superiors or blah blah blah, or they can try to hurt you. But either of that, you don't want none of that. You want them just to go. You want your own life and have a peace of mind. I have a peace of mind that no one's going to bother me because I'm friends. I stay friends with everybody. Things do get a little hairy. At the end of the day, I smooth it over. Just smooth it over so I can sleep good every night. I can walk my dogs out 2, 3 in the morning if I want to, and I have to worry about no one snatch me up because I wanted to show my ass. It's not
How
worth
many
it.
dogs do you have, pharmacist?
5. I'm just I have
No,
What?
she
two. I have
doesn't.
two. I would love 5. Poppy Blanc, Trash Can Ways thinking I really do have a man in my basement. I wish I
Who names
did.
a dog Carlos? That's what he said. Who names a dog Carlos? That's a human name.
Because he acts like a Carlos. He's wild and just and sexy.
Okay.
He's my sexy papito. Oh, I'm going on a different road. Didn't mean it like that. He's a baby anyway. But yeah. So how did you end up with your situation? You get your shift together. I mean, so he just did the typical, had another supply and all that good stuff, and he
Yes.
and he really wanted to nail it to he let you know too that he had another woman, correct?
Actually, he did not. I
What?
saw them. No, I saw them out, and it was very soon after. There's
Oh,
always an overlap. But you know
yes.
what? When I saw him with her, my first reaction was I was scared for her. And
Oh
I felt
wow.
really bad for her. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know who this sister
Mm-hmm.
is. She was really pretty. She was cute. I can't say anything negative about her because I didn't
And they
know
always
her.
get the finest chicks, don't they? They always get the baddest chicks. They talk game is so good and they love bomb you so hard. And
Well,
it
he
doesn't
was
matter how
fine
you
now. He
oh,
he
okay.
he's good looking now. I'm not gonna, but yeah, I mean he really is. But he inside he is
Yeah,
not a good
trash.
person. He is trash.
Trash.
And I'm not saying all men. For the men that are in the comments, I'm talking about the one I dealt with.
Right.
But
Yeah. We not all
When
these guys in
can
our
I
chat,
ask you,
we
black
love
girl?
them.
Can I
excuse me,
ask
hon?
you, when you say you felt sorry for, did you feel a desire to, like you felt like you maybe wanted to warn her or anything like that? Have you ever, and a matter of fact, for any woman on the panel that have had like that type of, have you ever had the desire or the notion to like want to warn the woman of what she was getting herself into?
Yes, I did.
I'm glad you saying that as a human, because I felt that with women, like I knew that after the history of a guy I dealt with is like sis, you don't want none of that. But a lot of times when we come to women like that, they think we hating, we jealous, we this, we that.
No.
Yep, that's true.
And the reason why I did it, one, because I saw some flickers of violence in him, and I was at work. And he is very calculating. I could see him making a phone call and peppered with lies. I didn't want that smoke, and I just shook
Mm,
my head, and I was like, Lord Jesus, I pray for that girl. I felt really bad for her. I really did, but I wanted to tell her. I
And
really
and I
did.
hate to sound like an anti-woman, but when it comes to just trying, anything when it comes to a man and a woman, I don't get into it because that's when you really find out the true nature of a lot of women. Like you said, they're gonna think we hating on them. And then you got them blowing up your spot too and him. So just leave all of that alone. So I mean, it's good to try to warn people. It just really depends on the person. Like if Kay has something going on or whatever, I would definitely like no if ands or buts was have something to say, and she would do the same with me. But someone who like okay, let me see, maybe for if it was like my sister or something, I would tell her,
Mm-hmm.
You feel look.
but probably you said what?
Nice and go ahead.
Well, I would still have to say something. It wouldn't be with the same ferocity, but I would just throw it out there, and if it
Yeah,
sticks, it
because
sticks. It depends on the person.
every woman doesn't accept it. Because, like,
Right.
I've had friends before, because, I'm vocal. If I see some BS, I'm going to tell you about it. And I've had some friends that were not receptive. And so at the end of the day, I can just give you the information so you can make an
right.
informed decision. But know it came from a place of love. If you accept it, you accept it. If you don't, you don't. Now,
Right.
depending on my level of friendship with her, I might be a little pushy. But
Right.
usually I'm
Yes.
just going to state it and leave it there, and you pick it up if you want to. But for Tish, yeah, I'm gonna be pushy till she stopped taking my calls.
Now, I love what Gail Lockett said. I hear a lot of women throwing that word around. For a lot of men, it didn't work out with. We must be careful with these because it's a real mental illness, and that is a good point. And it seems like we have learned the term, but you went to a therapist
Well,
getting my shift together. So you had a therapist who actually diagnosed your scenario. But
yeah. And
but
we went to, excuse me, I like what Gail said, and I do
mhm.
agree 100%. The reason why I mentioned that is because, just like you said, pharmacist, him and I went to couples therapy, and then I
Oh
went,
wow.
yeah, I went after the
How did
breakup.
you get him to go?
I'm not proud of this. I manipulated him.
Okay. I mean, well, hell, you was
I'm
really
being
cool with
honest.
it. I mean, yeah, you had. I mean, because I just know he didn't go willy nilly, so that's why I had to ask, like, how?
But you know what? He knew that something wasn't right with him as far as his thought process,
Okay.
because he said that he feels like he does need to go,
Okay.
but wanted to go by himself. So I was like, okay, fine. He's like, well, so we'll go together. So after that, I went by myself, and the therapist said that he was a narcissist. So that's why I will use that term freely with
Right. Yeah.
him. And yeah, because that's what it was. or what it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but that is a good point Gail made. We do,
She's right.
you know, and I had to do that too. I was like, you know, the one narcissist I dealt with, I was like, was I really a narcissist? And I was like, hell, was I a narcissist?
Yeah, like I said,
But it was
my that girlfriend of mine that I had to leave alone, she was for real. It was on paper. She was documented as a
Right.
overt narcissist. So because I knew of her mental illness, I could not stay friends with her. I had to leave her alone because I knew I would see like I would want to hurt her. Like this is, and it's not healthy for you either.
right. It's not.
Staying
It
them
takes a
type of
lot on you.
friendships and relationships because it takes a mental toll on you after a
You got to
while, and it's like,
protect your
oh no,
peace.
yeah, this
Oh,
is not healthy. But the reason why I asked the question to the ladies, and I've had both experience where the woman, she took heed to what I said, and then I've had the experience where the woman be like, not, think I'm hating or whatever. But
Mhm.
I was on a date with a guy, and we were out and having dinner at a really nice restaurant, and I went into the bathroom. Now I didn't know a soul but him, and I went into the ladies' room. I excused myself and went into the ladies' room, and another lady came in there behind me, and she said, sister, I don't know who you are. She said, but that guy you with, she said, I would not get involved with him. She said, he
mm,
is bad news. I said, really? I said, and I didn't come off like, yeah, whatever. I said, really? I said, why would you say that? She said, I dated him for 2 years. I said, okay. She
what?
said, yeah, she said, he is very dangerous. She said, let me show you how dangerous he is. She raised up her blouse and showed me where he had cut her in the relationship. He was violent. I got through
Girl.
that. I played it off. I thanked her.
Right. Smart.
I
Smart.
I got
Hmm.
I got through that dinner, and I never saw him again.
Was that a first
I
date?
cut off communication after that, and it was over. But I thanked her for that. That was one time where, I listened because the proof was kind of there. That woman had tears in her eyes crying, telling me what
Oh,
that man had did to her.
Wow. Now,
Patrice, was that a
did she,
first date?
Yeah, it was the first date I went out with the guy.
wow. So did he see her?
No, he never saw
Okay,
her.
thank God, because he would
No.
have definitely tried to rope
Yeah.
you up after
Oh yeah.
that.
He
And
never
her.
saw
He would
her,
have
but
got
she
back at
saw
her.
us. Yeah, she saw us walk in together, and she said, "I'm so glad you came in this bathroom."
mm,
She said, and that's when she told me, and I was like, "Wow," because she was like, "Please don't let him know. Please don't let him. Please don't say anything." I said, "Don't worry. I would never ever do anything like that." And
Right.
I
Yeah.
thanked her. I thanked her.
That's a good woman. You're a good woman for that, because you know how many silly chicks there are that would have been like, she see me with this good looking man, well, whatever. We at this nice restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Women are so.
Mhm.
I'm a woman myself, but we some strange creatures, especially when you throw men in the mix. We get really weird. Yeah, so that's good. I mean, of course, you level headed, you listen, but I'm really surprised she came forward to do that, because a lot of
Yeah.
times they want women, hurt people want to hurt people. She probably would have followed him on Facebook just to see the disaster.
Can I
but you
can I
Yeah.
know,
comment back at Poppy made a comment that that you just took her word for it without asking him. I mean, well, at that point, you like
Um,
one of the reasons why I asked
Ask him
if it was
what.
the first date, if this was the first date, was because she's not vested. There was no reason for her to
Right.
want to know anymore. The girl
Exactly.
could have been lying. She could have cut herself. She could have been cut by another boyfriend a long time ago. We never know. She could have had surgery when she was a kid. We don't know where the scar came from. But the chance that he might be, you know what? This is our first date. I don't even want to know no
Exactly.
more about you
It
at
wasn't
this
even
point.
worth
It
it.
doesn't matter. I'm out.
Yep. And
Deuces.
yep. And like I said, I believe it was genuine because that woman was crying and shaking to me. So I
Oh
was like,
God.
out in
damn.
that bathroom, honey, she was like, like I was like, it ain't worth it. Like you said, it was not even a second thought. I was only on the first date with him, and that was it. But that was enough. I
Uh,
Mm,
don't care if she wanted him for herself. She could have him.
right, exactly. That was yeah, just to know that she could be crazy enough, even if you want to think that direction, if she was crazy enough to do all of that, then let's let bye. This y'all bye. Let's
Yeah, she
go.
could
Let's
be
go.
following me
Exactly.
home and slashing my tires. Either way, it's
Exactly.
not worth it. I'm
Exactly.
out.
Right.
Exactly.
but when I believe all of us are born with intuition, but we know
Discernment.
exactly, and we know when we date a man
Mm-hmm.
So then if there's some bullshit, so you can't blame, to me, you can't blame the man because it's what the woman chooses to ignore or acknowledge. And if they are having experience of some cognitive dissonance, there's nothing you can tell them at all.
Nothing.
Because that means you're challenging their intuition that they choose to ignore.
But I love how you
And
said,
most of us ignore it.
like you said, we need to get our mental health in check, because we can notice all the red flags or all of this and all that all we want, but if we are in that low hanging fruit state of mind, it doesn't matter. It slips through the cracks. And we need to feel something for that moment. Like right now, I haven't had a man in over a year. I mean, I might. I'm wide open for a bunch of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't
Every
have,
time you say that, my feelings will hurt. Go
girl, it
ahead.
hurt my feeling. I mean, but I can be totally open to a bunch of bullshit right now. I can be in that low hanging fruit mindset. And it's not like I can't get a man, but I
that's
could
only if you choose to.
Right. I mean, but sometimes, you go through certain things where you kind of, you don't even know. It's so insidious. It kind of sneaks up on you.
Agreed.
Like I've been in, not situations, but after I had a major life surgery, whatever, I became a different type of person. Where I became more manipulative and just not my best self. And so from there, I had a lot of bullshit going on my end, other end, every end. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So sometimes certain life events, it can make the best out of you or it can make the worst. Unfortunately, it went the opposite way and it made the worst out of me. So it's just important to really, have your mental check. I thought you was raising your hand. I like what Poppy Blanco said. He said, facts. He's over the terms toxic masculinity, misogynist, and sexual narcissist. I mean, but these are real terms. That toxic masculinity, I mean, that kind of wag around a lot. I just think these days they want to make all men soft. So yeah, I don't believe in that. That's a problem. Oh, hey Adrian, what's going on, girl?
Hey,
Hello.
Adrian.
Yeah, I just really hated for that young lady. I really, 31 years old and had to go through something like that where it was like a big time. I would think this, he had a rap sheet. She probably was able to get into his records too, because she was a lawyer. So maybe she found out about all of the things he probably lied about. Maybe
Did
he
he
didn't.
have a record?
Oh yeah, he has like how many mugshots? OG? Like how many? I know he had like 3 or 4 mugshots or something. But he's dead now. He's it was a shootout. So not only did he did what he did to her, he did a shootout with the cops and he ended up dying.
He shot at the neighbor too.
Lord.
The one that was looking.
Oh
He shot at him
really?
too. He didn't shoot him,
Wow.
but he shot at him.
Right. OG, I just asked you a question. What was the question I just asked you?
Who you asking?
I was asking OG.
I'm sorry. What's that?
I was asking you, something I can't remember. I just asked you a question. Hey, Uncle Stu, how you
Oh,
doing?
you asked me about the mug shots.
Oh yeah. He had like more than one mugshot, correct?
Yeah, I believe he had a record, and like you said, perhaps she got access to that record, and just decided that he could have been, it just wasn't for her based off of the things that he's done. But I personally just kind of think, in my opinion, this is what I'm thinking. I think he showed her some form or type of violence, and she decided to get away from that and break the relationship off. She saw something that just didn't sit well with her.
Right. Right. So, hey, what the funk? How are you? Uncle Stu, old man on the block. Thank you for coming. If you want to come up and give a male's perspective on this situation with the DV and a 31-year-old young woman who unfortunately died an early death because of, as we call in this case, he is a Pookie and Ray Ray. Give us your thoughts.
She keeps saying it, Kay. She keeps saying it.
What?
Kay's not having it.
I said in this case, when can I say it? I said in this case, he was a Pookie and Ray Ray. He wasn't that high value man like that other woman, the Bank of America woman that was killed.
Can I share a
Oh,
story?
yes, definitely.
It's not too far from where this activity took place. I hear you talking about Ray Ray and Pookie and Junebug.
Uh-huh.
So about 15 years ago, no, maybe longer, in Atlanta, there was a Brad,
Okay.
and he lost money in the stocks or something, but he was still well off and he couldn't handle it. So he unalived his entire family
Mm.
and himself.
Hmm.
Oh
Mm.
my.
So it's Chad too. It's
All they
Chad.
were we always know them Chads. They can't when it comes to money, they can't handle no stress, honey. They will take out the whole family over. They miss and lose something in the stocks, like you said, it's over. I
It's
mean, and the
Hence,
woman don't know nothing.
hence the
They just-
reason why Kay said it's not Pookie and Ray Ray. Right,
right.
Right.
Kay?
We can't generalize with Pookie and Ray Rays as if that's their red flag. You're a Pookie or Ray Ray, so you must be a murderer. Excuse me, a deleter.
The leader.
A
why,
deleter.
why,
You know what I'm
why
saying?
why OG trying to get us fighting, Kay? Kay, you guys stay on the same page now. You can't let these
I
No,
women
believe
we
we are on
are.
the
infiltrate.
same
Just
page
joking.
to some degree. I just
I'm
I
just
just
joking.
don't
No.
say,
I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
you
I'm
know,
wrong. I don't mind saying I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
what? Oh,
Am,
where's the
am,
lead
I- am, I,
attorney?
am, I,
Because he'll never believe you said that.
in my twisted head, I know what I'm trying to say, but I'm not a good speaker. So one thing will be here, and they'll translate. But hey, what the funk? How you doing, honey?
Hey, how you
Can we
guys doing?
please
Good
see
morning.
you? Can you please
He
see?
must have
Hey.
on he left his camera off
My
because
Wi-Fi is
he
bad.
got
I'm
a shirt
realizing
on.
it, and if I cam up
Oh,
with more
okay.
than four
Cause I
people,
really,
it's
cause,
gonna make the stream mess up.
okay. Cause I love seeing you without your shirt. So
He's got on a shirt. It's cold. Leave him alone.
It is actually getting
oh,
cold here. Yeah, it's almost winter time coming.
okay.
Um,
So what you got to say, hon? Do you know what the case
yeah, of
that
course.
we
Yes,
speak of?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. I'm very aware, and I do find it very funny that a lot of times when these things happen, like men try to relegate it to like, oh, he's a Pookie. It's the woman's fault because she's dealing with a Pookie. And you ladies are absolutely right. It's all different levels of men.
Hmm.
I think what we have to actually do is realize that whenever you have a man that's sensitive in his emotions, and I think that's the red flag you have to look for. It's not about the person's
Mm,
social economics. We have 40 years of men who are raised by women, and this is the problem: is that men are still masculine and they're feminine at the same time because their temperament is like a woman. I've seen men have arguments that lead to death that are over things that women would argue about. Even where you see men going back and forth before they start fighting, that used to never be a thing. It used to never be like a whole 30 minute of yo, what you want? That's women. That's a woman trait. If men are supposed to
mm,
fight, it's supposed to just be like, yo, let's box this out, and it is what it is. No stress. But to see men arguing back and forth like a woman, that's a feminine trait. And
mm,
unfortunately, we have a lot of men, especially in our community, that have feminine traits with masculine tempers. And that's why we end up killing each
mm.
other over absolute nothing. So,
That's a
yes,
great
you ladies
point.
are completely,
It
the
is.
red flag is actually, my grandmother used to tell us to my sisters, and it's true, and I'm going to teach this to my daughter, that any man that you truly love and want to have a real relationship with, what you must do once is you must break up with him. And
Mm,
as you break up with him, there's going to be two things that happen. Either he says, yo, okay, I don't know why this happened, but shit, fine, go do you. And if he does that, then you fall to your knees and you beg that man to come back like in 3 days and say that like that because that man is truly the one. But what happens most of the time is that when men do get broken up
Wait.
with, that's where you'll see the real side of him. When a man's been broken up with, that's where you'll see where he truly is. There's nothing scarier than a sensitive man. And
that
when
is
men
true,
get broken
honey.
up with, that's where you'll see the demon. And the same thing for women.
Hmm.
You don't know who a woman is until you've broken up with her and told her to go away. And that's where her true colors will come out.
So don't tell your daughter that because you don't want your daughter fall. I mean, I get what you're saying though. That does sound like really great advice because I guess it's the same premise of you need to have some highs and some lows to really see how a person is going to react to certain things in life. But you don't want your daughter because, honey, you know y'all men, and the men ain't gonna be like you. They're not gonna be reasonable men. If you ask your daughter to break up with someone and fall on your knees to get them back, a man usually is going to take that kind of power and run amok. You want your daughter to have the upper hand in a
Wait.
relationship,
You
don't you?
completely missed the point of
Oh,
saying
what was
that
the
she
point,
has to
baby? I'm
analyze
sorry.
scene.
Yeah, you
She has
really
to
did.
analyze seeing
Oh,
what that
really?
man does after he's been broken up with. And
Oh, I
if
thought you
she
said fall to your
But
knees.
that's
Well, let him
if
finish.
he doesn't flip if he doesn't flip the fuck out, and if he actually says, "Yo, you made this decision. I don't understand it, but it's your decision. Go." Then that's the right man.
Okay, like fall to your knees and pray. You're saying, gotcha.
right, but I'm hoping he didn't mean that part literally as far as fall
Yeah,
to your
that's what I'm
knees
trying to
and beg
figure
him to
out.
come back because you can't be literal with that, right?
Yeah, because
Because
I'm a little
where's the
feel
self-respect
snapped.
there? But
Did you mean that
CJ OJ,
literally? What the
You,
funk?
you do realize men speak to men. We're not speaking in literal terms. It's an old
okay, just
man
making
giving a
sure.
lesson to
Well,
his daughters and saying that
Just
mainly
checking.
you need to be
we're
willing
Just
just
to
checking.
we're
let.
women. We're just
Okay.
trying to get some
Just
clarity.
clarifying. Just clarifying. But
Ooh.
like CJ OJ said, so then what if he kills? Oh, excuse me, deletes you after you break up with him? Then you got your answer there too, but
Yeah.
you're deleted.
He said, "Yeah, yeah, you got it."
Yeah, you got your answer. Now you know.
Yeah.
Well, he's saying he will be right there. He's not playing no game. He will be right there
No,
waiting for his daughter.
I'm saying you really have to. I have seen this happen over and over and over again. And men, when they get broken up with,
Hmm.
a lot of them flip the fuck out.
They
And
will.
I would much rather that my daughter puts that test on the table. And if that man passes it, like in two, hey, I'll come and say, like, this is the family test, and I'll explain it to him, and I'll tell him the reason why it's important. And men will understand this because they've seen other men do it too.
Okay, but here's the question. Okay, so you're talking about a scenario where you're talking about your daughter and how
Yes.
you're gonna be right there to make sure she's straight. But in general, that's not the scenario. If a woman breaks up with a dude, her dad isn't sitting there ready to pop a cap. So, um,
I'm saying it's still better to find out that if that man is in that energy, then it's better that you find that out instead of not doing it and then finding out later on if you really do want to break up with him and that's who he is.
but
That's
again, what if he's a
manipulative.
deleter?
But if you're
What if he's
right
a
there
serial
with the
deleter?
he's not going to do that anyway. He's going to take the
Right.
breakup like and walk away and be like, okay, because you're there. What
And come back
what
later.
would
So
happen possibly later? So that's
I
this is
think you
not a
ladies are looking
foolproof
at I think you
plan.
ladies are looking at so many what ifs that you're missing the overall point. But
But
again,
no, but
that's fine.
as a female, we have to look at the what ifs because we're in the vulnerable position. We're not in a physical position to test a man and hope for the best. We have to think beyond that moment or beyond that particular situation or what are the other possibilities
Wait. I'm not saying
because
break up
otherwise
with.
we put
Wait.
ourselves.
You're saying is I'm not saying as like break up with him and you guys are just alone. Like do the breakup however you want to break up. Like do it through text, do it in a public place, whatever, and then let him and see how he takes it. And if he is completely like, yo, I don't understand
Okay.
what happened, but this is your choice,
Hmm.
then fine.
But
But if you
but
see
then
that
he
man starts
couldn't.
to, but if you see that man starts to flip the fuck out in that moment, then that will show you what that man is and where he is with his
I
emotions.
I get what you're saying, but let's look at Courtney Cox as an example here. She broke up. Let's say she broke up with this dude. He comes to her apartment and he kills her.
Okay, so was it better that she
So
didn't
now
break
she
up with
knows
him?
that he was a lunatic. It was better that
Would
maybe
it have
she
been
did it
better if she didn't
differently,
break up
as
with him?
what pharmacist was saying was maybe let him break up with her, you know, so that he's in control of that, and so that he can't get mad at her for breaking up with him, because that's something that I've definitely done that with boyfriends before. Let me let him break up with me because I don't want to be bothered. I don't want the drama that could possibly come from it. But I'm not
Because,
going to
like you
put
said,
myself in a position for physical violence by breaking up with him. And that, oh, yeah, now I know and I got a black eye, or now I know
Yeah,
and I'm dead.
but she knew he had that energy before this happened. There's no way that this guy didn't show any signs of
So,
sensitivity before this happened. That's what I'm saying that women need to
not
start watching
necessarily,
out
because
for. Is that
some people do flip out on the first try.
Yeah.
Do you really think, from seeing who
Some
that
people
man
do
looked
flip
like, that
out
he
on the
was not
first
And
in his
he,
time.
and he
emotions?
was in
Do
her
you
home
think?
like 3 o'clock in the morning. God, so what was going on there? Why,
Let's
like,
She was
be
really afraid of
logical.
him. She wouldn't have let
Be
him in.
logical. You
She did
can
not.
judge
She let
people
him
from.
in. He did not break in. She let him
Do you
in.
think that that gentleman was fine in his emotions normally, or do you think he was somebody that was very when shit went down?
Making a lot of assumptions.
Honestly,
I don't know. I honestly don't know. But when you go
it
by case scenario with different women and different things that women have
you
gone
can judge
through,
a book by the
I
cover.
I had
Did you see
okay,
what he
like I
looks
had a
like?
girlfriend was
Did you see what
driving
he looks
with her
like?
husband. Yes, I saw what he looks like, but that
and I
Why
doesn't
think
mean
I think
anything.
is
I
it
think that'd
wrong
be
to
the
judge the book by the cover?
I've seen
I think
I've
that what the
seen
focus is gonna
dudes
put
with a
point by the
clean
red
cut
flags.
and high paying jobs put their fist through somebody's face while they were driving, so that happened to one of my girlfriends. She was dating an executive. He fit the part, three-piece suit, looking nice, making six figures, and she was driving and he got mad at something she said. He had never raised his hand to her before and he punched
What
her
did
in
she
her face
say?
while she was driving.
What did she
She it
say?
was They got into an argument about directions while she was driving, and he punched her in the face.
I don't think it
Okay,
really matters what she
that's the
said.
sign.
Yeah,
Okay. Then after that happened,
but
what
you
did she do?
saying there had to have been signs. Who You don't know that somebody will hit you most times until they actually do it.
The man that killed Courtney
There's
Cox, that was
sometimes
not the
hold on.
first time
There
that
is
he showed that
sometimes a
kind of
sign.
energy. Let's
There's
keep it 100.
sometimes a sign
That
in
is
advance.
that is
Sometimes,
not the
but that is
first
not
time that
always
he
the
acted that way.
scenario. But
Do
that's
you really
not
believe
always the
that?
scenario. Do you
I'm not
believe that
saying
100% of
always.
the
You
time
don't have
before
to say
someone acts
always. Not one
crazy
time did I
that there's
say
a sign
always. I'm saying
first?
the majority. You can judge a book by a cover and use your spider senses. You can look at that
Okay.
someone and say, well, or even the man with the high paying suit. If he is a person that's in his emotions in a negative way, then he probably had some red signs that before that hit happened. Most
May I
men
ask
do not go
what?
from. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna ask get her shift. Girls have their shift together. With some of the or just the panel in general. Have we experienced red flags before? Like we realized black girls get their shift together. You realize he was a narcissist. And like OG, have you noticed, the guy that you went out with that you were warned about? Did you sense any red flags, or were they perfectly normal before the shit hits the fan?
Well, that was our first date, so he was the perfect
Mhm.
gentleman. I got his perfect gentleman representative is what I got. So I never would have known that that's possibly he was if that lady had not come in the bathroom where I was. He was the
Mhm.
perfect gentleman,
So nothing over the phone
but
calls
again,
or
it was
nothing
the
like
first
that.
date.
Right? Yeah. What
What's
about
that?
you? I said, what about not over the phone calls? You notice? I mean, I guess it's hard to really tell things over
No,
the phone.
nothing. Yeah, no, nothing. Perfect gentleman.
What about you? Black girls get their shift together.
Oh yeah, I've seen red flags and ignored it.
So okay, so before things really got deep and crazy, how quickly did you notice the red flags?
Uh, let's see. Maybe a couple months in
Oh,
when
really?
that,
It took that long?
well, because I was dating their representative.
Okay.
So
Did you
yeah,
have any men in your family meet that man?
no,
Why?
because my father's toxic as fuck.
I'm
Brothers,
sorry. I
any
wasn't
other
ready
men in
for
your family besides your father?
that. And I don't do that
Male
either.
cousins.
I don't do it either. I don't. I
It's
mean, Kay don't
it's
even know the men
important
I
to
be with
introduce
because I be
the men in
hiding.
your family who you love to the men that you are trying to maybe be with.
But sometimes we don't have that though, especially at our age. We don't have
You
that. I mean, I'm not
you
sure
don't
how
have
old.
any men in your family circle. I refuse to
No,
believe that.
no.
No, she
I
really
mean,
doesn't.
I can probably start bringing them around Kay's husband, but as for my
Wait,
own family, no,
you have no
no,
cousins who are men.
no.
You have nothing but female family members?
I have
Wow.
family, but it's not a scenario where I would drive down 4 or 5 hours to, it's not
Okay,
one.
so you do have men in the family, correct?
Right, I do, but we're not
Okay.
close. We don't communicate at all. Like it'll be like
Okay, well
20,
that's a
30.
whole nother issue. If you
Mhm.
want to have men that you are like to protect you, you need to let those men protect you in your family first. The men in your family are your first protectors.
Well, no,
No.
no,
No,
not
and
every
then
family structure is
okay,
like
how
that.
are they going to protect her if they're nowhere near her? Like we're talking hours away. She has no family
They
locally.
need to meet the man that you are thinking of being with.
Yeah, I
They will
mean
let
that's
you
the.
know that men will always let you know what the man's real intentions are. We see through a lot of that bullshit. But so many of our women um will not introduce men that they've been spending real time and even relationships with the men in their family because deep down they're ashamed.
Because we generally know there's what that issue, right?
Because
I
you
mean,
don't want to
we do
hear
have.
you don't want to hear what men have you don't want to hear the men in your family say something about
I
you
agree.
not being with that man.
I
That's
agree.
true.
That's a good point. I mean, but women, we are blessed with discernment and women's intuition. I mean, like the one narcissist I did deal with. I mean, I was in my own little trashy mindset too, but I saw the red flags right
If
away.
women are so blessed with that, then why do they all have the same mistake of whoops, I made a baby with the wrong man too soon?
Oh, wow.
I
This is
think
what
you
you want to
all
do.
greatly exaggerate your
Oh.
intuition and your abilities. Women are more mature than
Y'all
that.
heard
We
him.
got to be
Y'all
popping
heard him.
off
He just
earrings
said
up in here
all. He
today.
just said all. Did y'all hear him? He
Said
just said
all.
I
Well,
heard it too.
well, since you brought it up, who wants to go first? I mean, we don't use it though. We don't. I mean, we all. I think we can agree on this panel. Women, we do not use our women's intuition, even in the chat. How many of us have used our women discernment, our intuition at all times? No, we use it probably. I mean, first of all, when you're young, you don't even know you have a woman's intuition or discernment. You hear about it, but you definitely don't put it into practice. Now, as we get older, go ahead, Kate.
Okay, so when I was in high school, there was this guy I was really he was older, and I just thought he was the sexiest thing ever to walk the face of the earth. And we started going out and spending time with him versus looking at him across the church, for years or what I think I was infatuated with him for years. But going out with him while I was, like we couldn't date because my parents were really strict. So he would like come to my job and hang out with me, but I worked at the movie theater. So hey, so we would spend some time together and we, sit in the movie theater, make out, that kind of thing. And then I was like, you know what? I just feel like if he got me alone, he'd rape me.
I remember you telling me
I,
that too. I remember
right.
you
And
telling me
so
that. Oh my
when I
God.
got that feeling, I cut it off altogether. Turns out he raped somebody else later on.
Wow.
So yeah, I followed my intuition. I felt there was something wrong. He hadn't done anything in particular, but there was something. Well, let me take that back. That's not true. I felt because I wasn't trying to have sex with anybody, so I did feel like he was a little too aggressive. But
Hmm.
he always would stop when I said stop. So, but something about him gave me the impression that he would. I'm sorry, I used the R word. That I would be assaulted,
Hmm.
and I had to you know, step back from that and say, you know what, I'm done. Yeah, I only went yeah, maybe two, three times. And I was like, no, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna have
Wow.
to move
I
on.
mean, you
So
always,
I'm
I
gonna
want to
I'm
give
gonna
you that. You
listen to
always,
myself now.
you always had good
Wait.
intuition.
Did you say you had a date with him 2 or 3 more times after that feeling?
No, 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 no. Two I only went out with him two or three times total.
Okay.
And I just felt like he was a little too pushy. But I something just gave and plus mind you, I did say I was in high school. So he was older. He was not in high school.
Yeah, he was like 40, right?
No, he not that one. You talking about
I'm
somebody
just
else.
joking.
Whoa. Was he in his 30s?
Get out my
No,
business.
no,
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 no.
no.
He was in his early
20s.
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 Yeah, early
Hmm.
20s.
So you were in high school and he was in his early 20s.
Yeah, that's another
Hmm.
topic. Yes, we know.
Okay.
Now, what did
And
plot?
Hold on. Did you have another
last
question?
question, did the men in your family ever get to know that man?
They
No.
knew him, but they didn't
Oh,
know I
okay.
was talking to him.
Yeah,
We
because
all
she
went
was.
to church together. We all went to the same church.
Well, we all know how toxic our churches are, but that's a whole other
Right. But
topic
I'm just
too.
saying.
Yeah,
So
we got two
everybody
other
knew
topics.
him. I mean, I could walk to his house, but you know, nobody knew we were talking.
So what is Poppy Blanco saying? He said, I tell you why they be getting deleted, because they be setting niggas up that way. What is he referring to? Is he talking about women be setting men up, or what is he referring to? Like setting men up to be toxic, or what is he referring to? Because I know he ain't saying that.
Well, the thing is, usually in the chat, there's like a line of like a conversation, and since you kind of missed that most of the time, it was probably before that. So it's
You're
okay.
right. Anyway, let me see. Some women, my vivid life says, some women think they can change him, so overlook the red flag. Ooh, that's a good point.
Or the dick is really good. That too.
That is a fact right
That
there.
good dick will make you hold on to some stuff you shouldn't hold on to.
Women, why do we think that we can change men? They are who they are. Like you can't change. Okay, let me ask this dumb question. This is gonna be a dumb question. Can we change? Can women be changed by a man? Are we more
Yes.
open to? Okay, but a man usually you can't change a man, correct?
I think with any couple there should be growth, which
Right.
requires some change.
Yeah.
I don't think you should say, "Oh, I'm going to change my whole person as my whole individuality to accommodate a person." But if you are truly meant to be together, you are going to have to make some adjustments along the way. Each person should be making those adjustments, but you shouldn't go into a relationship, well, he needs to change this, he needs to change that, and the other, and expect that to happen. First of all, if you need to make all those changes, you need a new man. Just like if he needs all these changes out of you, this probably not going to work. So you need to figure out what on your list is a hard no and what's a hard yes. These things have to take place. And if that person doesn't fit that bill, then you can't say, well, he gonna have to get on this page for me to be with him. Because then you're not getting his authentic self. You're getting someone you molded and assuming that he even wants to make those changes.
Right. What y'all got? OG, what you got to say?
Oh, who, me?
Oh, CJ, OJ. Hey, girl. Hey, I'm so sorry about that. What's going on? Thank you for coming up. So what you got to say?
No.
So what you had to say, babe?
No, I agree. I agree. I think some people can change a little bit within a relationship, but I think there are some deal breakers where you shouldn't expect someone to change that much, or it's dangerous. So one is violence, or any kind of violence, and then things like big decisions, like you want kids, they don't want kids, things like that. So that's kind of how I approach it. And then I think that there are some people that don't show any toxic behaviors initially, and then you might just be surprised by it all of a sudden. But for me, as soon as I see someone who is possessive in any way, extremely jealous, and we joke about people looking at your phone and stuff, but if he's checking my phone and stuff like that, I'm out. I don't stay, because I think it's just going to escalate from there, and it's just bad news. So yeah.
Now, is that something you had to grow into as a woman, or is that something you were always like that? Because Kay has always had the gift of discernment, and she used it. We all have the gift, but she always used it. So have you always used your woman's intuition, or is that something you grew into?
I think I've always used it. I really like my independence anyway, and I don't like to feel controlled in any way in a relationship. But I will say I had an experience once when I was waiting for a bus. I was about 19 or 20. I was waiting for a bus. The bus wasn't coming, and this very handsome young man, was at the bus stop with me. And he just walked, we walked and kind of followed the path of where the bus was supposed to come. And he was just like, do you want to walk with me to the next bus stop? And I was like, sure. And we were having a great conversation. We stopped at a gas station. We ended up taking a cab together. And I was going to go to my home, and he was going to keep going to his.
Okay.
And then I get out of the cab and I see that he's behind me.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and then he tried to kind of force his way into my apartment and stuff.
What?
Yeah, it was really terrifying, and the only thing that saved me was that a neighbor was kind of was just around at the same time and opened. I was like fumbling for my keys and stuff.
Oh God.
And the neighbor let me in, and I just closed the door, and we just stood there staring at each other, me and this guy. And then he just shrugged his shoulders and said, "You can't blame a guy for trying," and just walked
Oh,
away.
so yeah, like he
Yeah.
was
So,
normal.
Wow.
So that was a normal
Wow.
thing for him.
huh?
He thought that was normal. He felt like that was a
He,
normal thing.
yeah, he thought it was normal. And I'll tell you, ladies, like I thought about that for days after I smelled his cologne everywhere. Like it was terrible. My brother had to go with me everywhere I went for like 2 weeks.
You were almost assaulted.
Yeah. And so after that, I realized that, and this guy looked like no one looks angelic, but the guy looked angelic. Like he was really
Right.
So he didn't look like
pleasant.
a Pookie or a Ray Ray.
He did not
Gotcha.
look like a Pookie. And
Exactly.
and do you know
So that's why you
what?
have to go by the red flags.
And do you know what? About a month later, I saw him walking down the street holding hand in hand with a woman, his girlfriend, I'm guessing. And I wanted to go up to her and be like, "Your boyfriend is an assaulter," like, but I just left it. I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. So,
Right.
yeah.
That's just that is wow. So but you had no intuition. He just seen no, or did you get blinded by the good looks?
Well, I think yes, I think I got blinded by the good looks and the charm. And I kind of felt safe with him because it was in the evening. We were walking together, so I was like, "Oh, he's nice. We're safe."
Right.
Interestingly, when I told my brother about it, because we stopped at a gas station and he went in and he bought something, and I don't know what he bought, but as soon as I told my brother the story,
Condoms.
yeah, exactly. As soon as I told my brother, he was like, "You know what he bought, right?" And I was like, "No." And he said, "Come on, you can't be that dumb." And I was like,
Like
"What?"
you're like, I don't know. Like, dude, I'm stressed. I don't tell me.
Exactly. And so he was like, "You gotta be more careful." But I'm telling you, I had no clue. And I felt, I didn't feel any danger until he was behind me outside of the cab. The cab had left.
Right.
I was even smart. I even got out, like I didn't get out exactly at my place. I got out a little bit before so that I walked a little bit to my place, and he was behind me the whole time. Anyway, so all that to say that for me, I think someone can appear very innocent and you just don't know, right? So
Right.
sometimes
Absolutely. That's how Ted Bundy got most of his
yeah.
victims.
Right. And they'd even call
He
him
was a good looking,
handsome
he
and
was a
all
good
that.
looking man. He was very articulate, very intelligent. And that's how he got the women in that van, by being very intelligent and articulate. And he was a handsome looking guy. He wasn't a bad looking guy. So yeah, absolutely. So they don't always have to be the Pookies and Ray Rays, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I like how
So-
BC said, definitely got assaulting vibes from some dudes. Just felt unsafe. I don't care to challenge my intuition. I'm just gonna follow it. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Better
intuition,
safe than
but
sorry.
yeah, but sometimes like this guy that CJOJ had, he was a professional. You could tell this was not his first time.
Yep.
It was not his. I mean, for him to say a guy got to try. I
Yeah,
mean,
he
and that's what.
He just shrugged his shoulders, and he just stood there. We just stared at each other. It felt like forever, but it was probably a few seconds. But he just felt so entitled and like he did nothing wrong, and it was scary. It was scary stuff.
Now that's what you call toxic masculinity. That's toxic. I mean,
Date rape is, excuse me, date assault is real.
Mhm.
I have a young lady that worked with me. I was her manager, and she came to work one day, and she just didn't look right because usually, her face was beat and she was dressed to the nines, and she just looked like she just woke up. And I pulled her to the side, and I took her in the office, and I was like, "Okay, what's going on?" And she broke down crying and told me that her ex had assaulted her the night before, saying, they had broken up, but she didn't see anything wrong with him coming over. And he came over and said he was going to get her pregnant, whether she liked it or not. And he assaulted her that night, but she didn't want to go to the police because she had been assaulted by someone when she was a teenager. It was a friend's boyfriend assaulted her when she was like 12 or 13. So she didn't want to go to the police because That person didn't serve any time. They settled out of court. He took a plea. Um, so instead, her family, I called her family, and her family got together and whooped that boy's behind. But that was his only punishment for assaulting her.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
scary
mean,
stuff.
it's usually by someone you know.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, that's something that I've seen quite a bit where an ex just wants to come over,
Yeah,
and so for
chill.
my friends, yeah, for my friends who have broken up with their boyfriends, I always tell them if he wants to come over, just know, meet in a public place, find out what he wants to talk about, because I've seen a few cases where they ask to come over and then something bad happens, right? Especially if there's been
Yeah.
a little bit of animosity towards the end of the relationship. So,
Right. I love what My Vivid Life said. Yes. And this is back to the question of can a man change or can a woman change, be with the person? And she said, yes, women, we can change if we want to be with the man who doesn't tolerate our BS behavior. And that can be true. Women are much more prone to change to be with someone. Usually a man is more so set. They can probably take themselves. I mean, what do you think about that with the funk? Um, do y'all usually just be set in your ways and it is what it is? Or if y'all meet a woman and you have like some kind of tendencies, y'all can usually switch that around and not be a certain way.
I think men, when they're younger, are more apt to change because they don't know quite who they are yet. But I believe that once you get to 35, um, y- if you
It's a
don't
wrap.
have a bad, it's not wait, it's not because it's a rap. It's because you know it's work. Again, women, if you make it as an average black man in America, you've beat the system because it's been placed that we're supposed to have so many other fuck ups. So just because he's average, he's also a winner because he's found his lane and he's able to just exist in that. Do you believe that women are supposed to be the moon and orbit the planet, or do you believe that the man is supposed to be orbiting you and you're the planet? I mean, that's how it's all supposed to be. You're supposed to see a man's character and admire that, and you as the woman orbit around him, not the other way around. Because you believe in his purpose. So you're like, you keep doing what you're doing, keep providing, and I'll change what needs to be changed. And you can change. Don't ask a man to change. Let him be where he is, and then gradually watch him change better for you. Don't tell him how to change. Don't tell him to change. Just let him change.
That kind of goes in line with what I was saying, where you you both will change over time. Like Aubrey made a comment saying it should be a compromise, not forceful. Is you should eventually start to evolve into, you know, people that work well together, that glue well together versus, I'm gonna be this way forever and you gonna be this way forever and somehow we're gonna make this work. That's not how relationships work. There has to be some
You're gonna be this
compromise
way
on both
forever.
ends.
Somehow we're gonna make this work.
Right.
You're absolutely correct, Kelly. I'm just saying that usually the way that it's always worked in the past and the way that it actually even works better is if women don't go into the relationships and thinking, oh, well, I changed, he needs to change too. I think that's when the woman's maybe more in love with the idea of financially or how he looks. And that has nothing to do with what that man's character truly is. If you love that man's character and what he's come from, what he's lived through and the system. I love the way that you beat the system and the way that you outsmarted it. I want you to kind of stay where you're at and keep doing what you're doing because I love it and I love you. And then in time, as that man is receiving your love for doing that, he'll make changes himself that are better for you and him. Don't tell a man how to love you, just let him love you.
And if it doesn't work out, then move on, right?
Mm.
Exactly.
I think it's important that when you say don't
Yeah.
tell them how to love you, you got to know each other's love language to some
Right.
degree.
Women,
Absolutely.
y'all change, and you don't. Y'all's brains are so chaotic. You have so many ideas of what this love and what this is all supposed to be. Again, try to keep it simple, stupid. Let your man just be,
No,
and he
it's
will love you.
KISS, Tish. Don't take it personally. This is it's a phrase, KISS, kiss. Keep it short, stupid. Now go ahead.
I'm a restaurant guy. Keep it simple, stupid. That's what I say in the restaurants, and we keep it moving. Like, come on, don't make this harder than it has to be. We're trying to get the restaurant
Because
shut
Tish
down.
is about
It's
to
really busy.
spaz out.
Keep it simple,
But
stupid.
I was like,
Not saying to a bunch of people in the
sure.
restaurant, kiss. Hey, you guys, kiss. No, keep it simple, stupid. Oh my
So
God, just
yeah,
get the bottles and go.
check out Snuggles, y'all. Snuggles says human females are naturally more accommodating. That is what gives them the nurturing ability. So it is natural for a woman to change, or should I say conform. Wow,
Okay,
look
first
at
of all, can we
Snuggles.
address the human females versus what?
Well,
Versus male female dogs?
well,
Female
hold on.
dogs?
Okay, that the last time.
Thank you, Kay. I will not tolerate. I won't even listen.
What the fuck?
Don't
I'm
ask me
serious.
shit when it
We
comes to
talking about
Snuggle,
human
because I ain't got
females.
nothing to
I'm so
say.
done.
Like, I'm
I got
already
stuck there.
done with that.
I
Well,
got
I
stuck
mean,
on human
well, yeah,
females
well, Kate.
versus alien females.
So yeah, exactly. He's an alien today. Okay, last time he was a white person. The next time he's a black person. So he changes. He orients
Mm,
to different
okay,
forms. So he's
that
an
calm.
alien. So he's an alien, and he's talking about the human female species because he's an alien. I saw that too. I'm like, this guy's a nut. But
Question.
Hey, good
Question.
people. I have to go. I was so good talking to all
okay,
of
well,
you.
thank you. Yeah, we about to end
Thank
soon anyway. But
you.
thank you. But I'm gonna respond to your email, sweetheart. Thank
No
you.
worries. Thanks for having me. Good
All right,
night,
thank you.
everybody.
Good night.
Bye bye.
Be well.
You too.
Yes,
Yeah.
BC. I saw that. He
I was
said he
like,
was
I
an
said,
AI
okay.
program.
I said, okay, he's an alien today. Okay, all right. We say,
A black girl, she'll probably got off the panel because she the one had the block Snuggle.
oh, really? Snuggles, let's see those DMs. What kind of DMs? What he's talking about? What's he talking about? Paco
DM.
Blanco. Let's see. He was trying to kidnap you and sell you. Oh, that's not funny. What happened to CJOJ?
She been gone. He been gone. I don't know.
She. Okay, murder she
Okay.
wrote. Why are you walking home with a stranger you just met? Him. She wasn't walk. She was walking home with him. He was following her. So that made it more
Well,
chaotic.
I think he's more so referring to the whole walk period. They were walking together.
Mhm. But
Until
then
they
when she
got the
got the
cab,
taxi,
and then they got the cab together, and then he got out. But he was just saying basically, why you walking with a stranger? You don't know.
I mean, when people walk up and talk to you, you kind of like, okay. I don't know. I'm just weird like that. I don't know. Is it usually someone you know? Poppy Blanco said, there goes your so-called women's intuition. What she said, that was the one time, Poppy. Poppy's really hard on her. Aren't y'all like mates from
Victim
Deep and
shaming.
Gone? Huh?
Victim shaming.
He's Poppy. He's sweet. He said, there are no smartness in this situation, but a great learning opportunity. What is he talking about? Okay, what decipher what he's saying. We teach our children not to go by how someone looks, not to do or go XYZ with strangers. And it's really
Give your dog a
disappointing.
treat so it'll be quiet. Just
I
put some
did.
food
This
on the
fool.
floor.
I know. Now he's back. He's like, this is the time he tried to gank like 20 snacks out of me. He's been doing this all day, actually.
He trying to embarrass you on your show. He know.
I know.
Okay.
I mean,
Acting
he's right
like
there.
a bad child.
I know. He's like right there eyeballing the crap out of me. We teach our children not to go by how someone looks, not to do or go XYZ with strangers. And it's really disappointing to know how grown folks are not taking precautions. That's true. I mean, I've been all hooked up in situations too that my intuition knew better, but you just don't think sometimes it's gonna go the way it goes. I don't know. I hope she at least took a plan B.
That's I think that was in reference to the young lady I was talking about, and I actually think she didn't, but she didn't get pregnant either.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Because I know we
BC
were watching. Go ahead.
BC said, if a woman is dating a potentially violent man, how to get him to safely break up with us? Yeah,
Bring your men in the family into
no,
the
you don't. At this
equation.
point, if you already know he's potentially violent, I
If you
think
want
we
to
should
break
go.
up with a man, then you have the men in your family involved in that breakup, and make sure that that man sees that you have men in the family involved in this.
And if he's
I'm not
crazy enough,
joking.
it won't
If it's
matter.
Right. I
because
really
he'll
think
just know when you're alone. He's gonna
Do
catch you
you
in the
think it's
parking
a
lot at your
positive or
job.
a negative to have that happen?
Oh,
Because
I
I
think
mean,
that's a
if you
great
think it'll,
idea.
then
I think it's a
do
great
that.
idea. It's just
You
not a
can always
foolproof
what if it and
plan.
say, well,
That's
it
what I'm
could
just
be.
saying.
He still might be.
Right.
You
You,
know some big muscly
I
motherfucker. Yo,
agree.
you
I'm
gotta.
agreeing with you. I'm
Okay.
agreeing with you. But I'm also saying that there still needs to be a 24-hour plan, like a 9 millimeter. You know that you because you're not
Yes,
gonna
have
have
it
24
all.
hour protection. Yes, I'm just saying be prepared for foolishness because you're not going to be able to have 24-hour protection.
But I
You
also
know,
believe that having the men in your family is actually a better
it
alternative
will
than just saying
definitely
I have a gun
deter.
at my house.
It will no, you don't say you got a gun at your house, you just have the gun at your house. But you want that extra protection. But I'm just saying it by all means, having the men in your family show their presence and make themselves known, that is a great idea. But that person that you were dating already knows that those people aren't around you all the time. So they know that they can get an opening. So you still have to be able to protect yourself. Now, as far as the solution of letting him break up with you, one thing that you can do to try to get it may be a long drawn out process too. You have to keep that in mind is to pull away from the relationship. Stop doing all those things that they love and just
hmm
start making yourself less available and less desirable and you
be
know
whiny and
so
needy.
they will start
Where
pulling
are
away as
you?
well.
What's going on?
That is way too much.
Again,
Listen,
you have
we all
never
supposed to
been
be
a
adults.
woman
If you
and
want to
being
be done with
afraid
the
of
man, be
someone
done with the
punching you.
man.
You
No,
have
if you want
never
to be done
been
with the
in our
man,
position.
be done with
You've
Okay.
him.
never been there.
Doing
Wait,
all
wait,
that
You
other
okay.
can't
stuff is like
say
Yeah, that's
that.
the thing.
That's
That's
how
the
some, that's
thing.
why a lot of women, let me tell you what, like I have a friend that was getting her behind beat and she kept trying to leave. And of course, he was threatening to kill her. He was threatening to kill her kids. So
Mm.
she had to make a
wait,
plan.
wait. If she's getting beat, how can she not get away with her children? What is keeping
Oh
her
my
from
goodness. Are
leaving?
you
Uh,
serious?
no,
You
You've
know
been
how
in
no,
many
no,
Germany
no,
women
too
no,
long,
can't get
honey. This is
away?
America. It gets
When
down
first of
here.
all,
no.
before a man starts whooping you, normally he's already taking control of your life, slowly but surely. You know, he's dropping you off at work. He's got your keys. He's gotten a key to your apartment. He's probably living with you. You know, he knows all
But
your
this
friends.
is
That's why you're never supposed to let
you
your man know
can
all your
go
friends.
and if you do not want to be hit by that man, you can say, "Oh my God, this man is hitting me. I am done with you. It is your responsibility. I don't care psychologically
You
of what
cannot be that
hold he
naive.
has on you or oh I
You
live in his
cannot be
house."
that
That's
naive.
because
Say the
you've
static, and
gotten
every woman is
comfortable.
killed like
Men,
every 6 hours.
Yeah.
A black woman is killed every
Black
six
woman killed
hours.
every
I
six
mean, I mean,
hours. This woman in particular, she was
deceased.
trying to leave. She was trying to leave, and he was kicking
in
her
what
behind.
way?
She had to.
In what
What
way
do you
was she
mean? What
trying to
way?
leave? In
Like
what
she
way was
had
she
packed her
trying to
stuff.
leave?
She had left it because this was her apartment, but he was living with her. He had already integrated himself in her life like that. She ran off to a
Okay.
friend's house. He came and dragged her out of that friend's house by her hair
Where
and
was
took her
her
back
male
home.
family members?
That is not the point right now.
It is
Right
the
now,
point
I'm just
because you
saying
guys
you're
have all
assuming
these
that
things.
everybody has male
That's not
family
a
members.
true trying to
Everybody
leave. If
doesn't
you're
have
trying
male
to
family
leave,
They
you
members.
don't. They
involve your
really
family.
don't.
Oh my
Everybody
God, I
does
need
not
to get
have
away from
male
this man.
family
I need
members.
help.
Everybody does
I
not have
need
males in
help.
their life.
You can easily
Everybody
get
doesn't have that.
help.
Not
Oh,
everybody can. Even the police don't help you half the time.
it's not the police. It's your family's
I'm
job to
just
help you
saying.
before the police.
But everybody doesn't have that family line. This particular chick, she has females. She's got a long line of females in her family. But there's not really she doesn't have any brothers. Um I've known her for a long time and I've only met her father. That's the only male that I can recall meeting in her family. And I've been to the town, the state that I've been to her family, no men. They've come to her house for many events, no men. Okay? There are no male figures in her life. Okay. Now, at the time when she was getting her butt beat, her parents did not live in the same state that she was living in. So that was the only male that I have ever seen in a 15, 20-year friendship that I have ever seen in her life was her father. Okay. Who is not a very big man, by the way. Okay. So he wasn't going to intimidate anybody. But again, When I said she tried to leave, she went to a friend's house. He would come and drag her back. He would show up at her job. He's beat her in the parking lot at her job. Um, and so there was always threats to the child, which was his child as well. So what she ended up doing, because her co-workers were sick of her coming in there with black eyes and busted lips and bruises on her arms, they put something together to transfer her out of her job to another location so that he could not find her. And they set everything up so that she had a place to go, she had a place to live and everything, and they transferred her to a whole nother state so she could get away from that man. And she still got scars on her face and her body from what he was doing to her. But it wasn't because she didn't try to leave. The misconception, because I used to think like that too. Why not just leave? Do you know what you're doing to your kids? Why would you stay there for that? It is not so simple. Oh, I'm done. I'm out of here. It doesn't work like that. Because literally you could get killed on your way out the door. And saying, well, what about the men in her life? That does not solve the problems.
And what about people who come out of like foster care who don't have any family?
Is that the majority or the minority?
That's a good percentage. It's a good percentage.
It really is.
Is that the majority or minority?
Well, let's talk about like a solution that everyone can do and can control, and that would be.
You can never do a solution that everyone can do. You can only focus.
There's no cookie cutter way.
Yeah, but the one main way, like I mentioned before, is act like you're just, that you're still interested. You want to be left alone.
That's playing a game.
Yes, it's a game to save your life. Yes, it is playing a game. Making them feel like they're in control is playing a game, and it's to save your life. Yes, they're not playing any games. So I mean,
90% of the time, we are the weaker sex.
Right.
Okay. It's very rare occasion where you run into a woman that is stronger than the man. Okay. So we cannot do things the same way you do them. I can't even get with the mind. I can't get my mind wrapped around the concept, oh, just leave, or, don't play games. We're not trying to play games. We're trying to live.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you what, because I used to do a lot of, volunteering with the battered women's shelter. And these women are in hiding and living, off the grid completely. And you can't even go to a battered women's shelter until you are registered with them. They won't allow you to just come and work with their women. They won't allow. Our book club tried to do a book club thing with them. They wouldn't even allow it because they are so private. They are so hidden because these men are still trying to find these women so they can kill them. You can't just walk away from that and think, oh, well, she could just leave. Well, don't she have some men in her life?
Right.
That's crazy concept, dude. I can't get on that page at all.
Yeah, not everyone has
I'm a very logical person, and
you can try, but logic doesn't always work with.
And it's logical to know that not everyone has someone to protect them.
If you are in a domestic violence situation and you are saying to yourself, I want this to end, then you need to bring everything to the table to make sure it ends. Short of having that man get his ass kicked by people that even do that. And this is the problem that happened in the Black community. We used to have a real village. We used to know people around us. So if there was people who were around you, you could easily have somebody check this shit. But we're all in our own little bubbles and everyone wants to live like where no one can see what's truly happening. We all have this facade. And that's the problem. No one wants to have any accountability in the things that they're living through.
So what's your solution
Black
to
men
people
been beating their woman ass for decades. This didn't just start in the last 30, 40 years. These men were beating their women ass and nobody was doing anything about it. It was accepted. It was a part of the culture. You know what? In South Carolina, in the state of South Carolina, hold on. Let me say this. In the state of South Carolina, it is still on the books that it is legal. It is legal in the state of South Carolina. It is legal to beat your wife on the steps of the state capitol. But if you beat them anywhere else, it's not legal. And you could do that on Sundays, by the way. Excuse me, on Sundays, it is legal for you to beat your wife's ass on the steps of the state capitol.
Okay.
So this has always been accepted in the culture of being, and I'm not just talking about white culture, Black culture, anything. It's always been accepted when you find out your man is beating a woman. Oh, well, then what you do? Okay, we don't do that no more. even mothers have accepted that their daughters were getting their asses whooped by their husbands because
Say
the
go
mother
back
was getting her ass whooped by her
and
husband.
tell her to go back to
Right,
your husband.
exactly. What you leaving for? That means he love you. That's what some people even think. Come on. I know you can logically say this is what should happen, but that's not what's going to happen. That's not what ever happens. Very few people leave. Now, my girlfriend that got punched while she was driving, you better believe that was the last day she was with that fool. But
I
that's
think you
not
should.
typical.
I'm not in one sense saying you should be with somebody who hits you. I'm
I know you're not
always saying
saying
that
that.
whenever.
You're
Okay,
saying
so if you
leave
get hit,
as if it's
then
that easy.
absolutely. And after you leave, if that person is showing
So
stalkerish
you're just
type,
saying up and leave, no have no exit strategy like Locke is suggesting. Just up and leave, no exit strategy. Just like I'm done with you and I'm up and leave. I mean, that's
wait,
it.
is it your apartment or are you living with him?
Does it matter? You just let's say it's my
Wait,
apartment. All right,
absolutely,
let's
it
say it's his.
matters.
Okay,
If
let's
you're
say
living
well,
with
let's
him,
say
you
it's
have to
his.
play it differently. If it's your place, you play it differently. So which
How?
If
scenario are
it's
you
your
asking?
place and the US of A, if they got a toothbrush over there, you can't put them out.
You can't.
You have to serve them with an eviction notice, and they got
Right.
30 more days to kick your ass and kill you.
Right.
This is when you bring in the people who are around you to fix
But
that.
what about okay? Let's say someone's in foster
If
care
you
and
don't,
now
then
they're
you know what? If you
adult.
My
don't have any
brothers,
men circle around you, then you need to build
my
your man
brothers
circle
live
around you.
And then
500
you need to
miles
do
or more
what?
away
Then
from
you
me.
need to have men who are in your vicinity to know who you are. Then and you need to build a
Okay. What
community. You
about
need
the
to build
people
your
who?
tribe. If that,
Well,
if you have a whole situation where you have no men around you at all in your life, then trust me, as this world's getting crazier and crazier and crazier, you need to get some men in your life
As
ASAP.
abusers tend to separate you from everyone anyway.
Don't let that happen in the first place.
You don't even see it happening. It's a slow process. They
Oh,
isolate you slowly but surely. They
you
isolate you.
see it
They make
happening.
you
You
delete.
just
They make you
ignore
delete all
it.
the men out of your phone. They make you
No,
delete your
once
social
that
media.
happens, cut that shit off. What are you talking about?
Gail
Don't
Lockett said, what do you think about this with the font? Gail Lockett says the system is there for women, but 40% of men are in the DV situations and they have no one to lean on. How do you feel about that? How he's supposed to deal with that?
wait, what is the question? Are you asking me to answer
It's
your
on the
question
screen
or answer
now.
Gail's question?
Yes, Gail's question. It says the system
It's
is
not a
there
question, it's a
for.
statement. And it's true, but
Mhm.
now what is
So
what
he's
what
supposed
is
to have
that
men
statement?
around too, or I mean, he's not going to tell other men that he's getting his butt kicked, right? Or how does
No,
that work?
I tell me it's the same reason why I left my I tell him if you ever get to the point where you think you have to hit your woman back, you need to be the one to leave. Don't
Mm-hmm.
ever hit your woman. You have to leave. And if she's hitting you, then even though it was hard, you have to leave. Period. Because if you ever react in the other way, your life is over. It's over. Do not ever hit a woman back. If she's hitting you, then that means she's putting you in a situation where you end up hitting her back and ruining your life. And that means she does not love you. Even if she thinks you love you, her love is toxic and her love is going to make you do something that ruins your life. Send her back to the streets with her temper and be done with her.
I love how a story to tell said, and if Cynthia G can help it, she's trying to eradicate black men so there will be even less. And basically, Cynthia G, she's a popular content creator, and she's saying that black women should stop producing and get rid of black males, and not procreate to make black males because they're not she finds them
She
to be
said
useless.
if you see that the baby is a boy growing inside of you, to abort it. If it's a girl, let it come.
I'm sorry, it's not funny. BC says we are talking about a legitimate crazy. If the woman has a breakdown, it's over the woman. If the man has a breakdown, it's over the woman. Funk is not being practical. These situations require an exit strategy. What do you have to say? So you don't see. I mean, what the fuck? You must be just kind of trying to create some kind of tension or something. I mean, you have to know the work. I mean, that's why you prefer to live in another country, right? Because things aren't what it's supposed to be, and you're in their hopes of finding that there's more peace and things that make more sense. So in America, things don't make sense like that. It's not a straight line. It's not a linear action that's happening here. right?
I never said it was. That's why I said it's always important to have a man circle around you in these kind of situations. Men act right when there's men
Shoot,
bigger
most
than
of
them.
them probably whooping their woman's ass too. In fact, there
Oh
are
my
30 to
God.
50
Most
percent
men are
more
not whooping
likely.
their women's
Black
ass. Where are
women,
you getting this?
black
Yo,
women
you are
are
all
30 to
color
50
purple,
percent more
Gail. Most
likely
men
to
are not
experience
whooping their women's
domestic
ass.
violence than white women.
I'm sorry, repeat that
Wait,
again. I didn't
what?
hear you, Kay.
I said black women are 30 to 50% more likely to experience domestic violence than white women, and they're all almost 3 times as likely to die as a result of domestic violence than
Oh,
white
let's
women.
not. Okay, fine.
And
We'll
their
have this
response is
conversation.
not to
Black
go to
women
the
are
police
way more
because they
liable to
don't
do
trust
that Karen
police.
shit than other white women. Black women have used the police systems on lies and bullshit way more than a whole lot of people. In the system, women can make up lies or even claim rape and even find out to be lying, and there's no penalty for them. So if you want to go by a whole bunch of things that with the system being behind y'all, you all have no accountability for the lies that you say about men, for the lies that send men to jail, and there's no accountability. And if let's leave the police
There's
out of
definitely
it,
been some
a
of
lot.
that going on, white and black.
I'll land this in our neighborhoods and in our environments. So many men die from the things that women have started. So many men have died for or gone to jail to protect a woman's honor because of a woman's temperament and a woman's toxicity. You all are the ones that grow and build this, and men try to follow along. Your tempers lead to a lot of these domestic disputes. Your jumping in the face leads to this. Your poking, your speaking to a man like he's your brother, or like the man that was not you were not raised with anger, leads to a lot of men then attacking you. Many men try to walk away from these arguments, and you all are afraid of not getting your points across or forgetting your line, so you won't let that man leave. And then you want to have some passion baby boy makeup sex right afterwards. It's all part. It's all poison that we have in both sides of us.
Oh, well, never heard that before. So you really don't like black women, huh? I was joking. I'm just messing with you. Laugh, it was a
I
joke.
just now I will get on the page with you to say that there's definitely been multiple cases of women, and I'm saying women, not black women, because it happens across the board, making false accusations against men, period, which have landed them either dead or in jail. Um, in fact, I had one try to pull that on my son, and then want to apologize to me later. And I was like, "Nah, bitch, you came for my
Mhm.
son. He could have ended up dead because you called the police on him for something that didn't happen." You're like, "Oh, I was just mad at him." No, that's not
Mhm.
cool, boo. So it definitely happens. It happens way too often. Is it the majority? No, most cases are legit. The thing is that a lot of women will not, black women especially, will not file a case against a black man for domestic violence or assault because they don't want to put another brother in the system, or because we still hold y'all at a higher regard than y'all hold us most times, because they don't want a brother in jail, or that's their husband or baby's father or whatever the case may be, and they don't want him to go to jail. They just want to get out of the situation. So, yeah, there's always exceptions to the rule. There's always some bullshit along the way, but that's not the majority of the cases. Bullshit happens, absolutely. And those women should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Sadly, a lot of them get away with that bullshit. Um, but that doesn't mean they make it hard for the women that actually have valid claims. Absolutely. Women with false R claims and false DV claims or whatever the case may be, just because they want somebody gone, they want the law to take care of them, whatever the case may be. That's sad, and it needs to stop. And those women should go to jail. But that's not what we're talking about right now.
Jill Williams said, me too. In my DV situation 40 years ago, I had to get out. He told me, if I can't have you, no one can. I had to chuck the deuces. Thank you, Jay Williams, for coming and sharing your story as well. Yeah, I mean, it's not a linear thing when you're dealing with humans and interaction. I mean, the best thing to do is, like, I hate to say, like, you disagree with the funk, is you got to play games. You got to play to win. You got to play to live. I mean, and a lot of times you don't have the presence. You're working and you have children, and you just want things peaceful as possible. And the main thing too is you don't want to relapse. You don't want to try to do all of this with the family members, this and that, and then they just work around and come back again. You want to do something where it brings some finality to the case. And a lot of times with men, making y'all think that y'all are the ones that are done with us and manipulating that scenario, that usually just gets y'all to go away to the next woman. You know, I mean, you don't agree with that at all, or what you thinking with the phone?
I think it makes way more sense if you want to end the relationship to
Mm-hmm.
have your family and you say, hey, like, let's be adults about this. Here's your stuff. There's cut all contact, no renegotiate, no come back over. Like, it's to the point where it's a breakup. Then let's end this. Family, the man sees you have a true unit. And most men, when they see that, and especially if they see men that they already respected before the breakup, and then you have those men speaking to him like, yo, I get it, but it's over. So if you do come around here and start to act a certain way, you're going to deal with all of us. That deters so many men from doing any of that stupid shit. And so many women won't even think of this as an option. I say do that before you do all the whole, well, I'm going to just act like a piece of shit until he doesn't want to deal with me anymore. I think that puts
usually it's a pretty quick process. So, I mean, so what about the men who aren't mentally fully hinged? I mean, a lot of times these situations will have people acting berserk. So what about those situations where men can't be as logical and reasonable as you?
Then they get their asses kicked from your family. What are y'all missing?
I guess I'm missing the part about the family part. Some people just really don't have family. I mean, in a perfect world,
if you don't have a family, then before then you should. That's why you should have male friends. That's why you should have men who care about who you are in your life. It's
if that's the case, everyone be happy
in your life, and especially with what's happening right now in the world. If this shit goes down for 1 week and there's no electricity for some reason, you're going to wish you had men who cared about you, who will come to your rescue. Get some men in your life who care about who you are as a character and love the knowledge and appreciate who you are. Not men who are trying to sleep with you, but men who actually know you, and have them in your life and celebrate them. And when shit gets real, they will come to your aid.
Okay, I think we're also missing the fact that a lot of times we can't befriend men because a lot of times
they're all trying to fuck us.
Okay,
they're all trying to fuck us. I mean,
every single time.
No, but seriously, while he was saying that, I was about to ask you, Tish, how many male friends do you have that aren't trying to fuck you?
Okay, like seriously,
that aren't waiting for their opportunity. I mean, seriously.
Okay, I mean, and it seems like it's always some kind of quid pro. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I do this.
If you can't find men who don't want to fuck you, then that's a
dude.
whole nother issue, and you trying to vet those men. There's
So we got to vet the men we date. Now we got to vet the men we're friends with. So we got protection from the men we date.
Men. If you can't find men
I have
who
some
don't
really
wanna,
good guy
if you
friends,
can't find men who don't want to
now.
know you without a chance to get to fuck you, then that means something's up with your personality.
Yeah, you bet. I mean, that just means
to be. Then if your
you've
personality,
been out of States too long, honey. You forgot how these American men get down, honey. You forgot.
I know how men get down worldwide.
Okay, but you forgot about America because I mean, I don't know what do you think, OG? What do you think? I mean, is it that easy as what he's saying, OG, or what?
I have already digressed from this conversation. You listen. I don't play with this. I'm not going to argue about it because I explained my friend that is no longer here that tried to leave. I also have a friend that left and she's still dead. It's no arguing for me. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to go back and forth with nobody that trying to give other alternatives. The bottom line is I had one friend that tried to leave and she's dead. I have another one that did leave and she's dead. So please, I'm not going there with this conversation. Not at all.
So I'm right there. I feel you. That's why I've had to put my head down a couple of times because I do feel like what the fuck. I do feel like you are being extremely insensitive
in the conversation. So thank you so much, OG Patrice.
So
she's not participating because the things you are saying are so insensitive to what women go through. And your solutions are so unrealistic to what women can do.
Bring men in your family is not an unrealistic solution. It's logical.
If you have it,
then build it. If you don't have it.
So Patrice, what do you think?
Easier said than done.
What do you think is a solution? Because BC wanted to know if you're in a situation, what would be a good solution? So from what you experienced, I gave my solution, Kay gave her solution, what the phone gave his solution. What is your solution? A plausible solution.
If my experience, if I'm ever in that situation, and God forbid that I'm not, and I don't get a chance to get to the phone to call the police, because some women don't get that chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
some women, listen, I'm armed. I can carry a weapon. Sometimes you don't even get a chance to get to that.
That's
I
true.
just pray to God that if I'm ever in an opportunity and I get a chance to get to my weapon, he's already DEAD on arrival. I'm not playing with it because I done lost 2 girlfriends. I'm not playing with
Right.
it at all. That's me. That's just me though.
What
Let's
about
stay packing.
before the red? A lot of time. What about you see red flags beforehand and you have time to do things? Before it has to get escalate to that point. Do you have any pointers or suggestions on how
I,
to get out of toxic situations?
yeah, I would just tell women to just don't even entertain any
Mm-hmm.
further. You know what I mean? If you in a position where you're seeing red flags and you out in public, you can get away. You could walk away from that, because 9 times out of 10 in public, that man is not going to cause a scene unless he just really weird and crazy. But if you're in a private situation, try to play it off as much as you can until that situation is over, where you can get to safety. And then you have to cut off all communication with that guy, like all communication. Don't play around. Don't give him false hope. Don't go back and forth with your decision. Don't say, well, he's this, but maybe that, and I can change this, and maybe he'll change. Like, don't play with yourself on that. Follow your intuition. Follow
Mm-hmm.
your hunch, because if they show you who you are the first time, believe them. Believe them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's a quote from Maya Angelou. When they show you who you are, who they
Who
are,
they are.
believe them. Believe
Did y'all
them. Mhm.
y'all see that video where it was from a doctor's office? No, what you call it? Where you take your pets?
Vet.
A veterinarian's office.
Mm-hmm.
And so this woman, apparently this man had been holding this woman hostage in her apartment or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
beating her ass repeatedly and raping her over several days. And she had to convince him that her dog was sick. And that's how they went to the vet together, and she passed a note
Mm-hmm.
to the girl at the counter, and that's how she ended up getting away from him. Was they called the police for her, but she had no outlet prior to that. I mean, what the funk act like? You, when he hit you that first time, you're gonna be able to dial your phone and call over the crew to come whoop his behind. I mean, you may not get that chance that first time he whoop your behind. Maybe the last time you you get your behind whooped, because you may end up dead right then and there, or it could be a continuous thing. It's never just walk away. It's never that easy. It's just not, let me get my boys over here. I may be dead. You know, it's just it's
Leave me alone,
the
trash
comments.
can
I'm
wage.
sorry. I just
Y'all know,
the
y'all know I
logic.
got
I
that
get the
speech problem.
logic, but it's not realistic. You can be logical and unrealistic simultaneously.
Yeah, but it's good that we're sharing all our points and everything. I mean, and that would be good for people. I mean, it's good to have a tribe of people around. It is. I mean, and Kay, as you know, I love to shut myself off, and and I be having my own little scenarios, and I have people that love and can support me, but I put myself in situations where I'm my own little island. That's never good. So I mean, I appreciate what you said at the funk about expanding basically your tribe and stuff of that nature. Now in dire situations, if you don't have one, we're trying to get real life solutions, but it's good to have a tribe and have people around that care about you. Easier said than done. But yeah. And I see Miss Beast Finesse, I see you got your name trademark, so congratulations on that. I need to do that with my name one day, so that's great. Anyway, we better bring this to a close because we got work in the morning and I have to work a 12-hour shift, and my ass is old and I can't hang. So,
I'm
but
going to the
what,
movies
you going to the movies tonight? Tomorrow?
tomorrow.
Oh, you such a biatch. Anyway, see, I have I'm a hater. Any last words or anything, Kay?
No, I'm good.
What about you? And I appreciate you, Ms. OG Patrice. You always give like awesome commentary, and you're always very patient and everything. You have any last words or anything closing out? And
No,
rest
I
and rest in
yeah,
rest in peace to your friends that going through that. I know that has been very difficult for you, especially in a case like, to have a friend and just to feel powerless for the situation that happened twice. I mean, it's amazing that you still have a love for the male species and want to still find love. So I commend you for seeing things for what they are, and not thinking that all men are the same, or that all men are trashy or horrible or anything like that. So I do appreciate that from you.
oh yeah, absolutely. And just in what the subject was about that happened to this young lady,
Mhm.
that's the reason why I say as women that we should not play with the red flags. I don't know if she saw them, while she was dating immediately. I don't know. That's not even the situation. The situation, the lady is no longer here. So
Hmm.
regardless to when the red flags came, she obviously had broke it off with this guy or tried to. And then he ends up in her house. I don't know if she let him in, he broke in.
He
We
didn't
don't
break
know
in.
the full story. Things are still unfolding. But I think as this story continues to unfold, we're going to learn a lot more about him and about her and their relationship. But the red flags, young, middle age, old, male, female, black, white, it doesn't matter. Just do trust your intuition, and do not ignore the red flags.
All right,
Yeah,
that's great. What about you at the
I
phone?
agree.
Thank you for sharing your. I'm getting sleepy. Thank you for sharing your male perspective and being so passionate about us having a tribe. So we didn't agree with it all the way, but I do appreciate it, and it does expand, my mind to bring, keep people in my circle and not just go off on my own little island and be isolated. But you have any last words as well?
Um, yeah, it's not a negative thing to build your tribe.
Right.
So if
You're
so
right.
to do it,
No one
it's only
said
going
it
to be a
was.
positive. Think about it. Not every man is trying to sleep with you. You can meet good men and go from there. It's almost Halloween. Hit up my channel if you guys need some Halloween videos, and stay awesome.
All right. And I just wanted, this to, speak on the young lady before we close out. Miss Courtney Cox. It's just hard to see a young woman who lost their life just too soon, who worked so hard. I cannot imagine working so hard to achieve all that she's achieved in a short span of time, just to, be a statistic. But I know to her family that she was very well loved. I don't know her, but of course, but I admire her, and to the point I really wanted to reach out to do a story, reach out to my humble audience and do a story concerning her, because that could have been any one of us. I mean, Kay, and all of us, we all been in situations, back in college when we were young, that could have ended up in this very same way. But by the grace of God, that just wasn't our fate. But it could have easily been. So I just want to, send out condolences to her family. More likely than not, I could probably see this, but if shit happened to pop up, that we really we really hate that this has happened, and hope that they
Absolutely.
find peace
It's a
in this situation.
tragedy. And just talking about the village, I do agree with that. I grew up old school, so I had that village in my neighborhood. I still have the village now, which is my son and my two brothers. Just unfortunately, I live 1,800 miles away from them now. I'm in a new state where I just moved and I don't know anyone. So I don't have a village except for my two friends called Smith and Wesson.
Uh, okay. I keep a revolver by my bed and I keep my nine in my purse.
Well, I don't have any Smiths and Wessons. I can't even get no regular dick. So, but yeah, I know it's a gun. So, but either
And
way,
you
on
need a
that
tribe
note,
of dick too.
I know I need a tribe of dick. I need a train. But anyway, on this note, I appreciate it, y'all. We'll be back on Friday night, and we're talking. I can't remember what we are talking about, It's something lighthearted and fun. I'll probably change the subject because this is Halloween, so we need to do something really snazzy and fun or whatever. But y'all probably
Are
gonna
you
be
going to be
Dress
dressed
up.
in a
I
costume?
have an idea for a
Are you going
Halloween
to be
topic
dressed
for
in a costume?
Oh, you know what? I should. I work at Walmart, so I'm just going to be Morticia because that's an easy costume. So I'll be Morticia for Halloween with my
Okay.
fangs.
I'll go
Who you
shopping
going to
tomorrow,
be,
see if there's
Kay?
anything left. I don't know. I got to see what's. You know what? I always got a maid's costume somewhere,
And a nurse and a
Cool.
prostitute.
and a nurse.
pharmacist.
So
I have a question idea for you when you do your Halloween show. Maybe if you can think
What's
of
that,
something.
hun?
Okay, it's the zombie apocalypse. The
Okay.
man has food and safety, and if you go with him, you're safe.
mhm.
What do you bring to the table? Why should he pick you to come into his compound in the zombie apocalypse?
Is that
It's
our
crazy
topic?
everywhere else, yeah. Well, what do you
Is
bring
that
to
our
the table
topic
for you
for
to get into the
Friday?
compound? Yeah, zombie apocalypse, ladies. What do you bring to the table? Men, what do you bring to the
You a
table in the
jerk.
zombie apocalypse? Why should I take care of your kids too? What do you bring into the table for me to bring you into my compound when there's a zombie apocalypse? I think it's a perfect
Wow.
topic.
Okay.
So
Well,
basically, you're saying what do you bring to the table? Period. But we're gonna say
No.
it in
In
a
a
way
zombie
of
apocalypse, when the
it's a,
world's all crazy, what do
we are
you bring to the
desperate for a
table?
man to take care of us at this point.
Yeah,
I only can think of one thing I have.
well, then sell it.
You talking about them jaws? I
Make
told
it
you,
a
used to call you jawbone.
make it a quid pro quo, right? Trash
Right.
can ways. A
Yeah,
quid
because he said you
pro
said it wrong.
quo. I know.
What'd you
Listen, y'all
say
know
the
I got.
first
Wait,
time?
I'm offering good, and no questions. Like that's what you bring to the table. Yeah, whatever. Like I think it's a funny way to kind of have that conversation.
Yeah, that'd be
Even the
good.
men got to
Yeah.
answer it. Like, yeah,
Okay, then
men.
make an
Okay,
answer too. Okay, so
yeah.
what
Well,
y'all gonna bring
I
to
have a
the
compound.
So you
You
coming
got your
back?
kids, and you trying to come into my compound where I got food, good food, water, and safety. Ain't no zombies nowhere. They can't reach us. What do you bring to the table?
Okay.
right? And so, are you gonna be here for this though? Don't get us all riled up doing this, and you ain't gonna be here.
Oh, if you're doing that topic, I'm definitely here for it.
Okay, well, I'll change my topic then, and we'll do that then. Y'all
The
down?
That's an
zombie
idea.
apocalypse. What you bringing to the table?
Okay,
Yeah.
which women, what you
Because
bringing to the
you gonna
table?
see the
Men, what
men
you
lost
bringing to
because
the
the men got
table?
to bring something too. You got to know how to do
Right.
some. Do you know how to do some plumbing? Do you know how to do some? You
Laying
can't just be
pipe?
pretty no more. Yeah, you can't just be pretty no more.
You say lay some pipe.
Literally, right?
Literally lay some
Literally.
pipe. All right, so everyone, thank y'all so much. Thank you, Mrs. B Finesse. Thank you, Gail Lockett, as usual. Hopefully, you don't mind me making you a moderator. Thank you, Poppy Blanco TV. I think I'm gonna give you some Poppy. Thank you, BC. Thank you, Trash Can Waste.
Wait, whoa. Don't let this slide past.
He just, that accent, and he just, damn, he getting me. He ain't asking
I
for
think
it. But
Peppy is married.
is he?
Wait, Pappy or
Yes.
Wait, is his name Pappy or
You talking about Poppy
Poppy?
Blanco TV?
Poppy.
Peppy. I think it's Peppy. Ain't it pronounced Peppy?
Pep.
P-A-P-I?
It should be Poppy.
Oh,
Poppy
Peppy.
is
Yeah, because he's
P-A-P-I.
Colombian. He's
Oh,
from
Poppy.
Poppy.
Colombia.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's married though, I believe.
Really? Why you say that? I know
Poppy,
he
you
ain't
Because I
married.
thought
married?
I heard him say it on another stream that he was
Oh,
married.
Poppy. Ooh, he got busted.
Poppy in these YouTube streets.
Okay. Ooh, you see. Thank you, Miss
Miss Viva, that
Princess
says Peppy.
Princess
If
CBC.
Poppy's married, Peppy's single.
Exactly,
He got
right?
aliases.
Poppy, are you married?
Yeah,
Answer that
Poppy
question
Blanco
before
TV.
we
Are you
go. Poppy, are
married?
you
Yeah,
married?
we wouldn't know. I bet he will be gone now. Thank you, Trash and Waves, as always. Thank you, Gail Lockett, as always. BC. Thank you, CJOJ, as always. Thank you, Black Girls Getting a Shift Together. Thank you. Who was here earlier, y'all?
Uncle
Um,
Still
Stu.
on.
Uncle
Uncle
Stu,
Stu.
Owen,
My Vivid
Owen,
Life.
BC.
My Vivid Life, Joe Williams. Thank you so much. Your first time. You said who? BC. Yeah, I already said her. Who else? Someone. Oh, a story to tell. Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing up Cynthia G. I love Cynthia G. She is off the chain. It would be nice to have Cynthia G come and tell us all about
Poppy
that stuff.
said he is not married.
Yeah, I think so, but who knows? Men be lying. Oops, don't
Oh,
say that now.
CJOJ.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, y'all
yeah,
hate me. Okay.
CJLJ. Thank you, Adrian Nash. Thank you, A Story to Tell. I know it's been two other ones, but I can't see them right now. But if I forgot, either way, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much, and see y'all Friday. Y'all dress up. Let's do something
Bye.
fun. Bye. Thank
It's
you.
been fun. Bye, guys.
All right, bye. See y'all
Bye.
later. Peace. Peace. Come on, Kay. Peace.
Peace.